Testing, testing. Well, hello, everybody. Looks like we've got a few people here already. I'm late, but not as late as usual. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Get the chat up here where I can see it. Y'all like it when the chat's on the screen? Let's see if I can find it here. There it is. Carla, good to see you. How you doing tonight? Terry, as usual, good to see you. Brian, how you doing tonight? I just barely made it indoors. I was out all day. Out as in outside, working. Got quite a bit of stuff done. Because you never get everything done that you want to get done, but I can check a lot of things off my list. I'm going to throw the link out. Anybody wants to join. We are on EV Mux tonight. Still kicking the tires on it. So far, I'm liking it. Starting to get a little bit used to it, but there's still a lot of surprises here pops up on us. So let me find, let's see, invite a guest. Here we go. There you go, Carla, Terry, Brian, anybody want to hop up? I think Miss Charlotte will probably be joining us here a little bit. Oh, there she is now. Speak of the devil. There she is. How you doing?
The devil, huh? I'm doing great, Grumpus. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Very good. Very good.
Spent the whole day. Oh, look here. We got another one. There he is. I knew he'd make it. How you doing?
What? Good. I'm hanging in there.
Great.
Yeah. How's the finger?
Oh, it's getting smaller. Great.
I showed Vicky the video.
Oh.
I said, what's this? She said, oh my God, is that his finger? And I said, nah, just the tip.
I had to force myself to put the Band-Aid on to get smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
I kept knocking things over.
Like walking around with a corn dog in your hand all day.
Right.
I knocked a glass of water over. Marie said, what in the hell are you doing? Too funny. How's everybody doing? Okay?
Yeah,
I'm doing pretty good.
How about you?
Good. I had a friend of mine, a childhood friend, passed.
Oh, I'm
Oh
so
no.
sorry.
Yeah, last Friday, and I didn't know it. You know how things work. You go on with life,
Yeah.
but they're always there, or whatever.
Mhm.
And I didn't know this, but from October he was in waiting for a heart.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And thinking back, I remember we were in high school. We met in high school. Um, it's funny because he was half Italian, half Norwegian. Figure that one out, okay? And when he would tell, I mean, he had the features of an Italian guy, but when he tell people he was Norwegian, people, yeah, right, you know. But yeah, it was kind of sad because I got a message from one of my friends said that yeah, he had passed. So on I didn't talk to his wife and stuff, but I didn't know what to do. So I did a little just thinking back, different,
Yeah.
and she asked me to do something up on Facebook, and I did. I put it up on Facebook. So it hit me between the eyes. Really did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of my age are dropping like flies. It kind of makes you ponder sometimes, doesn't it?
Don't it?
Yeah, yeah. He just turned 70 in February, and
Mm.
usually I'll send him out once in a while. Would send out an email or something like that.
Mhm.
Just steady ball breaking. That's all we ever did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He always wanted to learn how to cook, and no matter what restaurant I worked at, without announcing this and that, he was always there. He'd always show up somehow. And I knew he was there because one of the waitresses would come in and would bring in the scotch to me. This is from Ted. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Well,
so
I hate
it's,
that, Tom.
yeah, yeah. It's an eye opener. That's basically what it is. Nothing you can do about it. We're never going to make it out of here alive. So,
None
No,
of us
no.
do.
yeah.
None of us do.
Hello, Terry. MBL's here.
Hey, Terry, how are you tonight? Terry's been having problems with his back. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to spread your business, Terry.
Well, I think he already spread it.
Yeah.
Five.
So,
Uh,
did you guys do anything fun today?
Um,
I did not.
um, real sort of. Well, it was real early this morning, maybe 3 in the morning, and I planted a whole bunch of seeds in pie tins. That's all I've got.
uh,
That's terrible, isn't it?
I have what do you call it? Moonflowers coming up.
No, are you kidding me?
Yeah. She planted those what Sunday?
Oh, wow,
Last Saturday maybe.
wow.
that's
And
great.
I mean they're up an inch
Wonderful,
in a
wonderful.
week.
Well, now I did plant some things in my garden yesterday. I planted some bush beans. What I'm trying to do is take up every inch of space of dirt that's out there or
Yep.
soil. Um, I want to use every inch because I have this thing where when I'm planting things, my perfectionist side tends to pop out. And I think that I have to grow peppers with peppers and tomatoes with tomatoes and green beans with green beans and everything has to be organized
Yep.
and that's not the best way to garden.
I know somebody like that.
Um, Planting things with other things helps all the things survive better, I
Well,
believe.
let's face it. A lot of your vegetables and stuff, they're pretty ugly plants.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
if you can plug them in with some annuals or something like that, to where the bed doesn't look
exactly.
so tore
Well,
up.
I put zinnias out, I put sunflowers out in the beds, and I've never done that before. So it just felt off to me, but I was like, I don't care. Let's just do it. Let's just find a spot, you know.
I,
And,
I tell Vicky that all the time. She'll say, "Well, what should we do here?" I say, "I just don't want to see no dirt."
right, right,
Because
right.
for some reason she leans towards these big, spiky, spindly, tall things, and
Mhm.
you got a whole plot of dirt there with one stem coming up, and
Right.
And I've got mustard greens coming up from last year.
Are you kidding me? That's
So I'm
great.
well, I let them bolt. I mean, it's such a pretty plant. I hated to chop them up.
They are
I let
nice.
them bolt, so they may have reseeded themselves.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. In fact, if you let them bolt this summer, they'll probably come up in the fall.
So I've got them coming up in a bed with some hibiscus that we planted.
Nice. You should plant some okra. 'Cause
Planted
that looks,
a lot of coleus this year.
I love coleus.
I
That's
do
one of
too.
my favorite um, leafy plants.
Yeah, I like the big leaves.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my goodness. We were shopping at, I think it was Tractor Supply the other day. Was it Friday or Saturday?
I don't know.
Well, I'm talking to Poppy. I'm sorry. I think it was Friday we were there. And I was trying to find some 16 gauge wire because I bought some ladder mesh at Home Depot and I'm making trellises with it. I'm wiring two pieces of ladder mesh together and then it's covering the bed. And it's about what? 10 inches wide and it makes about a 4 foot tall trellis.
Okay.
And it's an
Nice.
arch. So my squash can grow on that. And what I wanted to do, I have zip ties and I was going to zip tie it together. Well, in this sun, zip ties don't last long.
Oh no, no,
They
they'll
get
bust in
brittle
two
and
months.
so I decided to get some wire and that's what I was doing at Tractor Supply, that and oh heck, I forget what else we were looking for, but anyhow, I saw the most beautiful begonia plant. It was about this big.
Yeah,
It had enormous, bigger than my hand size leaves on it.
it's
And
like an
Wow.
angel wing.
no,
Okay.
no, it was not an angel wing. It had the most beautiful 3-inch orange flower on it. And I had no idea that begonias produced an orange flower,
I've never
or
seen one.
I'd never seen it before either. And
Do the name Ruby Begonia strike a familiar note?
well, ruby, yeah, but not orange, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so incredibly gorgeous. I couldn't believe it. And I almost bought it, but it was $25 for one plant, and I happen to kill begonias a lot. I've killed many, many.
I have to. Can't have any luck with them.
Now my daughter's got is it the spotted one? Is it Immaculata?
You got me.
Immaculata. Anyhow,
All
it's
of mine have spots
spotted
on them.
begonia. And well, it has round, like it's really a pretty plant. And it's an angel wing, and hers is enormous. I bought it for her, I don't even remember how long ago, 3 years maybe.
Okay.
And it is just beautiful. And now she keeps hers in the house though.
We had to bring everything back in.
Why?
It's been 80s, 90s. The other night it came, it was almost 30 something degrees. So, the balcony looked like we had a party with all the solo cups we have with all the stuff that she's got planted in
Yeah.
them to start. And we had to bring them all back in again.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I hate it like hell to keep moving around because it was very windy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the temperature dropped on it. So I said to her, I said, you work so damn hard,
Yeah.
trying to get these planted and with the lights on it from, to
For
get them up, and then
months.
they would die and whatever.
Right.
So she says tonight, what do you think? I said, no, it's going to be in the 60s. We're good. But that's how quirky the weather is out here. You'll go
That's
from,
crazy.
yeah, we'll go from 50 degrees to 90 in a couple hours. I mean, it's just nuts.
Wow.
But you got to deal with what you got to deal with. So
Sure. Yeah. We've had pretty decent weather. In fact, I would venture to guess that we've had about 10 perfect days in a row as far as weather, in the mid 70s, lower humidity than normal. And when I say lower, I'm saying maybe we've maxed out at around 90% at night.
Yeah.
but during the day, it's like it burns off and it's not quite so high. They've been beautiful days, absolutely beautiful. But we're supposed to start. Well, it I could feel a difference in the weather tonight when I was out there. Um, the wind kicked up and
Yeah,
it
it's
started.
windy today.
I could smell the rain. I know that sounds crazy.
No.
What is that?
What in the world?
It's somebody down here, Rudy.
Oh, there he is. All right.
How did that happen?
I don't know, but I just got
Come on.
rid of him.
Okay. Um. So anyhow, yeah.
I can. You know what, Charlotte? Don't laugh at that because you know what? When it rains out here, you can actually smell it.
Oh, I bet you can. Dry as it
I
is.
mean, it's completely. That's great. My grandson told me that. He says, "Pop, when it rains here, you can smell the rain." Yeah, okay. But son of a gun, he was right. He was 100% right. It's weird, really weird. I
I
don't know.
I like it. I like it. Well, I don't know.
It's supposed to thunderstorms tomorrow. Got
Yeah,
about 80% chance.
my weather tells me we're supposed to have a 35% chance of light rain, and then Monday we're getting the storms. So that sounds about right. If it's in your area tomorrow, it'll be in
Yeah,
ours
it was
Monday.
It was cloudy today. It was in the 80s, but it was cloudy
Right, right.
and very windy.
Gee,
Our weatherman says you have a better shot at the crap table than having it rain.
oh no. That's
Too funny.
hilarious. Um,
Grumpus, I was going to give you a call the other day.
Yeah.
I had somebody reached out. Actually, it was I don't on Facebook, but it was towards me anyway.
mhm.
Uh, Monument Grills was looking for somebody to put together a grill. They would send you the grill, put it together. They'd pay you for that, gas, whatever, and then deliver it to one of the TV stations for a demonstration.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
And then I said, yeah, I don't know. I don't get involved with that. You know what I mean? But I says,
A
maybe.
TV station in Houston?
Yeah, a news, like a news station, I don't know,
Right,
13,
right.
whatever.
Interesting.
And I said, well, we'll just let that fly for now. So are we opening the box tonight?
Oh, yes. In fact,
Oh my goodness.
let me show you this here. Right. There it is right there.
All right.
Now, there it is.
Now, tell the wife, I said, you know, we're going to open that box tonight. She said, what box? I said, a box Tom sent me. She said, you haven't opened that box yet? I said, well, you know, it's kind of a running joke that just went too far.
Right, right.
She said, well, ain't nobody laughing but you. You need to open the box. Yeah,
Too
we
funny.
can open her up now.
Hot diggity. I'm excited.
Let me,
Bigify yourself.
let's see here. There we go. So I apologize, Tom. It's taking so long, but
Nah.
like I said, it was a running joke that kind of went too far. Get all these spider webs off of it.
That's funny.
For those in the chat, I'm embarrassed to say Tom sent me this box 3 years ago.
Was it 3 years? Is it 3 years?
Well, the date on the post says 11/22.
Oh my God.
The content's going to be able to collect Social Security.
What do we? I mean, what are
And
we
it
gonna
may,
See, Tom don't even remember what he put in it
what are
now.
we going to have to talk about?
a potential another box coming.
Oh my.
Too funny. That is hysterical.
Well, this is long overdue.
Live drum roll, please.
I'm not a drummer, so I can't.
Here we go. Shoot, that old newspaper's probably worth something.
Yeah. Put articles in there from the Houston Chronicle.
Oh, that's very nice. I'm not going to read that one. I think I know what this is. I don't think Maria's doing these anymore, is she?
No, she can. Her hands. I mean, she showed me today. One of her fingers is like bending
Oh
with
no.
arthritis. Yeah, I mean, it's almost a joke.
Oh,
I'm getting old stuff.
Well, it ain't for the faint of heart.
no, it's not.
Any chance? Can you send me that bubble wrap back?
Yeah, we can do that. I'd send it back, but it'd take you 3 years to open it.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny. Marie?
Well, who wrapped this?
Me!
Oh, goodness.
Hey Marie.
Oh, that's great. That is great.
Isn't that wonderful?
She does so good.
She really does.
And Tom emptied the bottle, I'm sure, so I appreciate that
Years.
too.
Years. Okie dokie.
My liver thanks you.
I was gonna say my twin. Who's my twin?
Oh,
Yay!
That's the last one.
This is
Isn't
the
that,
last
isn't that
one.
something? It's green here, green
Yep.
here, but it's clear here.
oh yeah, because of the green screen.
The green screen.
Oh,
Look at that.
wow.
I really like that. I
That is
appreciate that,
really
Tom.
nice.
No problem. No
Don't
problem.
worry, I really appreciate it.
She said to me the other day, she said, did Grumpus ever open that damn box? And I said, we're working on it. Okay. It's almost like putting somebody in therapy.
It's
You know?
in the work.
I said, she's got a box phobia, you know?
Oh my goodness.
Well, I appreciate it. I apologize. It's taking so long.
No. This is just all this is right here is an incentive to get back. Now we need to see a video.
Yes.
Well, you know, hey, I fired up my pit today.
Did you?
Oh.
What'd you make?
Cool.
Well, I realized I hadn't fired that thing up in, 7 months.
So you were just experimenting with the temperatures and all?
So, well, I wanted to clean the grates. So I built me a fire in that sucker, and I had it running at 500 degrees for probably 2 hours.
Oh wow.
Only had one grease fire. Got it put out pretty quick. But I'm gonna tell you, I stunk up the neighborhood. There ain't a mosquito alive for 5 miles.
Good. Good.
I had a neighbor 4 doors up text me, says, "Is that you down there smoking up the street?"
Before I call 911.
Oh gosh.
But no, I spent most of the day on that, and then do some chicken thighs on it after it cooled back down. But I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Good.
Hey, Lance. That's what I made today. I took chicken thighs, I cut them up into strips like wings, and then just oven roasted and stuff like that. And then that's what I'm going to use from that one. I will never buy chicken wings again.
Oh no, they're too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll buy thighs all day long, skin on, bone in. I'll cut up close to the bone on one edge, on the other side, and lay them out just like chicken wings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And roast them up. Fantastic. Hey, Lance is in. Hey, Lance, how you doing, buddy?
You know, I've been using chicken
Lance?
legs like they're chicken wings.
I split the legs the same way too. I'll put 2 cuts on either side of the bone, open that up,
Yeah.
and put them in the oven. Cooks half the time,
Okay.
and then I'll take whatever sauce that I make or whatever, put it in a little oval bowl and spin it around and
Right.
done.
Y'all, I made a fast and easy dinner tonight. I stupid fast and easy. And all I did was my son loves frozen pierogies.
There you go.
And so I made those and I put them in a skillet with some sausage and onions that I'd already simmered and gotten warm through.
Hmm.
And then he said, "Well, aren't you going to put some kind of sauce on it?"
What's the matter
What
with you,
sauce
Mom?
do you want? He said, "Well, I don't know. What do you got?" I said, "Really, the only thing I've got, I can make some Alfredo because I didn't have the ingredients for a tomato-based sauce. I had some pesto, so I thought maybe I'll make a pesto sauce, but that ain't going to taste good with sausage. Bleh. Maybe
Mm.
it will, but it just didn't appeal to me. Neither did the Alfredo, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What I did was I took a jar of Alfredo sauce, poured half of it in there, put some half and half with it, threw a handful of Parmesan cheese in it with some butter, and y'all, it turned out really good.
Sure.
Now, of course, I put garlic and some basil and salt and pepper,
Hmm.
and that was it. And he
Wow.
ate that stuff like he hadn't eaten in a week.
Now tonight, tonight on it goes up at midnight, my time.
Mhm,
On the Sunday side of it, what I'm doing is I'm going back to my past when I would get done work.
mhm.
Not all the time, but once in a while, jump in the car, a couple of us, and we go into Lower Manhattan, into Little Italy, and I would sit down and I said on there, it's my turn to play. So what I did was I made instead of making a veal franchise, I made it with pork.
Mm,
Okay, and with linguine on it. So I'm looking at watching it again, and I've been talking about in the beginning. I talked about going to these places and stuff. I made a lot of good friends going in there. All right, and this was not gourmet food.
right.
Okay, this was just good, flat out, every day, run of the mill Italian food. Okay,
Like home
that
cooking Italian style.
yeah, but it was in these restaurants, in these different
Mhm,
restaurants in Lower Manhattan,
mhm.
and they were open 24/7 because um, they would even do sidewalk on a sidewalk with the cafe style type outside,
Right.
and they just never shut down. So I started out with the new channel I did with the pizza, with the grandma pizza, and now I tried it now this one on the Sunday Dinner Chef. But the whole premise is to push this over to fire, cook, eat, and repeat.
Mm, mhm,
The other new channel.
mhm.
So for that channel, I was going to do squid. Do you think that I could find squid out here?
Nope.
Okay, actually had to get what they call calamari steaks. Okay, it's from bigger squid that they catch. They're not going to throw it away. If they do throw it back, it's going to die. From being caught up in the nets and stuff.
Right.
So this stuff is pretty big. It threw me into a tizzy. I mean, I had to buy this, and I'm saying, oh shit, I ain't made this in 500 years. So now it's a process now. I'm trying to get away from long
Yeah.
aggravating cooks that I'm used to do.
Right.
So I told Maria,
Well,
I said, well, I'm
anything you can get pre-cut is a plus, isn't it?
yeah, but I want to do it from scratch.
Mm,
You know what I
mm.
mean? And
Yeah.
especially when you're working with
What I'm
with
talking about.
finger. I said to Maria, I got now with me cutting stuff out with my finger. I said to Maria, I said, I wish I had my vice because I need to bend the knife.
She she's gonna have to start holding that meat for you.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
she's unbelievable. So I mean, it just trying to keep nice and calm with
Uh-huh.
making different videos. I
Right.
said they got to press my buttons. They actually
Mhm.
got to press my buttons. So and in the store, okay, all these people buy this one case. There was nobody there, and I'm trying to get to it, okay, and then when I get to it, three old ladies,
No.
and they put the baskets all over, and I'm sitting there like this. wait, and I'm waiting,
Did you fight
and
them
I'm
for
waiting.
it?
No, I'm just looking. And one looked at me and just kept looking. Move your friggin' basket. You know what I
Were
mean?
they
Swing
waiting
it
on a
around you.
sale or what?
No, they were all looking. They were all looking like this. So I took off and I asked the guy. I said, "Do you have any squid?" He said, "Nope." I said, "You got to be kidding me!" And that off went. Then I could feel my blood pressure a little bit higher. So now I got this big squid steaks that now I got to operate on.
So
Tom,
how do you cook those without them just being totally rubber?
yeah.
Well, you got to cut them. Okay, score them. Then you can egg them, flour them, put them
Okay.
in it just until they get a little golden on the outside. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to get the regular squid,
Mhm.
clean it, cut it, and I usually soak that in buttermilk overnight.
Oh, okay.
That actually helps it a little bit, and then into a flour type of thing. But now these squid steaks are this big,
Oh my God.
Okay.
How
and
thick are
they're
they?
about a quarter inch thick.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, naturally they're frozen. So now what I got to do is I got to just slice them down very thin,
Mm-hmm.
and then go through the process. And they won't
Mm-hmm.
come out in rings, obviously, but so all to
You know,
just do with this one restaurant that I used to go to all the time. So it turned into a dilemma.
Tom, have you tried the Asian grocery stores that you normally go to?
Yeah, they
And
had them.
they
They
did?
had them, but I would have to fully clean them, skin them,
Oh,
and I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for
right,
pre cleaned whole squid,
right.
or already skinned. Let's put it that way. So,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Ooh,
geez, boy, I tell
I'll be
you.
right back, guys.
So that's my plan for the week to kick off the other I mean, it's just
So what are you doing?
trying to
Like
work with it.
3, 4 videos a week now, and plus your podcast? You're
Yeah,
you're you're a busy guy.
yeah, and the other one I kicked off. I'm going to do that once a month, but that's going to be more or less like me chatting about my old days, what I used to do, and then
Okay.
recreating it and stuff like that. So method to my madness, but I don't know. I'm not quitting, Grumpus. I'm not giving up. I'm going to just keep on going.
Well, there's no reason to give up. You
Yeah,
just don't burn yourself out.
yeah, yeah. Now that I can edit better with the new computer, I mean, what a pleasure.
Yeah, a lot faster, huh?
Unbelievable. And plus now I got the other computer over here, so let me see if I can without messing too much up. So I got the other computer there.
Okay. Okay.
I got another mic set up.
All right.
Okay. So I can work that side. And then yeah. This one right here, I just do nothing but the editing on it, and it's nice because I can I can multitask with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can have several things open at once.
Getting other pictures and stuff like that. So, but yeah, work in progress.
Well, it's nice to have a tool that doesn't get in the way.
Right, exactly. And I was stressing about it. You knew I was stressing about it. How I
Yeah.
was going to transfer files from the one to the other. And when I opened the box and there was a keyboard in there and a mouse, I went, ooh, Stu Nod, there you go. Just get a screen.
Score.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
I
you just move everything with the thumb drive,
Yeah,
USB drive.
yeah.
Pretty
And
painless.
I've been doing a lot with Google Drive also. Taking it just from one to the other, then I can transfer it to my phone as far as with shorts and
Right,
stuff like
right. I
that
do.
too.
I do the same thing with. It's called Mega Sync,
Okay, yeah,
an
I looked
outfit out
into
of
that.
New Zealand. But I think I've been with them for several years. But used to they had like 50 gigabytes in a free plan,
Wow.
which was just huge.
Yeah. So I'm there again. Like I said, I'm just playing with. I'm not stressing about nothing anymore about putting something up and this and that. do it as I go, and
Well, it should be fun.
yeah, yeah. Where the hell?
You know, that's what I tell people all the time. I was never looking for a second job. I've already got a job.
Exactly, exactly. How you been feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Good.
I uh, I was telling somebody the other day. Well, we was talking about it'd been a while since I put any videos up and stuff like that. And I told him, I said, I didn't. I was kind of, I don't know, blasé about the whole thing last couple of years, and I told him, I said, I didn't realize how bad I was feeling until I got to feeling better.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was out there today. I was having a blast just screwing around with that pit, just
Yeah,
building a fire in it and cleaning it and that kind of stuff. And Vicky said, look like you're having a good time. I said, I can't wait to fire this thing up and do a brisket, start doing videos again.
yeah. I just got done telling Marie. My grandson's got to work tomorrow. My daughter's got to work tomorrow. So as far as Easter dinner and stuff like that,
Yeah.
that's fall by the wayside. But out here, I guess bone-in ribeyes are big for Easter.
Oh, really?
I mean, totally blew my mind. I went the other night after I dropped him off. I stopped. I had to get some. I had to get jalapenos, and I walked in the store and I'm looking at shopping carts. Okay, by the meat counter, and it was loaded with bone-in ribeyes. And I picked one up, looked at it. It was like $149. I don't even know what the weight was. Okay, and I said, "I'll be danged! Look at this." So I told Marie, I says, I'll wait after tomorrow, Monday. I'll go in there early in the morning and see if they have any left. And if so, I'll pick one or two of them up. I mean, because it was a good price. It was $6.99, I think.
Yeah, I'd like. I wish they'd run something like that around here. I haven't seen those kind of prices in several years.
Yeah. So I was kind of excited about that. And then what we'll do is next Saturday I'll go to my daughter's and I'll cook some of them up, whatever. I'll break that down. I'll take it off the bone and I'll keep cut the bone in half, and little ribs out of that and stuff like that, and then just cut them into steaks.
Yeah.
That'll last me a month or so, 2 months with it.
Yeah, even down here, I picked up some chicken thighs the other day. They were like $1.29. They'd been 99 for the longest time,
Yeah,
99 cents. And I was like, shoot, even chicken's going up.
yeah. I mean, it's like crazy. And there again, I did my podcast last Monday, and I put it up, and that thing took off like a rocket. Okay, because I was talking about food prices basically, and whether keto was dead or not. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Uh-huh.
saw
And
that one.
yeah, I mean, it took off. It's got like 1,100 and some views on it.
That's great.
But people were talking back and forth on it. Okay, I wasn't
Uh-huh.
live, but in the chat kept going. And I said, you know what? I said I could have turned around and turned on a couple of them people. Okay, the way they were talking. I said, but you know what? They're talking about it.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
basically what it is. So I keep going back and forth with people saying stuff, and that's great. If you work that way with whatever you're trying to do, as long as you're staying away from high carbs and sugar, you're better off no matter what you do, how you do.
Right.
There's nothing set in stone. You know what I'm saying? So, but that really took off. It was really surprising. It really was. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, I stopped on the way home from work the other night. Vicky needed a half gallon of milk, so while I was there, I picked up a few things, and I left the store. I'd spent $100. I pushed the cart out to where the carts are, and carried everything to the car in one hand. I mean, it was just several bags, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
See, now that
It's
would have made me mad.
Well, it did make me mad, but what are you going to do?
I know.
Charlotte.
What do you do?
Do you have a Kroger by you or Smith's or
Remember Kroger's?
you got Kroger by you?
Yep.
Check that out because Kroger is with Smith's and see if you can find a
I like
flyer or
Kroger.
something
We
I'll have
used
to
to have
check
one
their
in
ads.
Virginia,
for
and
their.
I shopped there quite a lot at that one in Virginia. But let me ask Google where's the closest one to me. Um,
Hold on a minute. I'm going to see
Kroger
something.
near me. Well, there's one in no Kroger, not Fiddlesticks. There aren't any near me. None. That's frustrating. You would think. The only grocery stores we have, 3-9, okay. The
Thank you.
only grocery stores we have now since Winn-Dixie closed up and they're gonna turn it into an Aldi, is Mart. There is a Rouse's over in Gulfport, 30 minutes from my house. There is a small grocery store called Frugal's, which is a cost plus. Oh, look at that.
Grump's even cheaper, $5.97.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's Smith's.
Um,
That's Smith's or Kroger.
Well, if that dropped another dollar, I could afford Plain Trick. Just come out there and get it.
right, right.
But it's the state that would bother you. Yeah, I mean, where's the other one here?
Prices are insane.
Anyway. Yeah, see, and Albertsons has it on for $7.99 a pound.
I love Albertsons too. We had those in Jacksonville.
Yeah, but this was ribeye. I was telling Grumpus, I almost tripped over the shopping cart when I went in the other night and seen all of the ribeyes, bone-in ribeyes, all over the place. And now it's $5.97 a pound, but it's some kind of coupon or something.
Well, generally, when Kroger's has those sales, you have to have their app on your phone and all that kind
Yeah,
of
Mm.
rigmarole.
I got that, and I got the key ring thing, for it. But I mean, you can press the issue, but it's limited one. So, but good prices for a change anyway. Oh man.
Well,
I'll do
y'all, my
that,
daughter
Tyler.
had. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just telling Tyler I'll come down and see him.
My daughter had surgery day before yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Not
Yeah,
not the little one, the middle one.
everything
Um,
okay?
Yeah, everything is honestly. She came through it better than any of us expected, to be honest. Girl stuff,
Yeah.
they had to remove parts,
La la la
and
la 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 la.
hey, I did that as diplomatically as I could. Okay.
Cor- yeah, yeah, but you said remove girl parts. I mean, oh yeah, yeah.
Ay, 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 ay. So,
You could have told me she went to see the plumber. I'd have been happy with that.
well, she went to see the plumber. Um, but we went over there last night. Well, we were at the hospital for the surgery, and we went over there last night because she asked me to make her some chicken soup. So I did,
Cool.
and she is up walking around. Just, I mean, she's uncomfortable a little bit, but
Yeah.
she said that the pain that she feels now is nothing like what she was in before.
Wow.
So,
Well, my ex went through that. She, I mean, she had mood swings so bad it was just
oh yeah,
awful.
yeah.
And we sat and talked about it. I told her, I said, you got to get this taken care of because these mood swings are killing me.
Yeah.
So she went in, had a hysterectomy, and she just stayed mean all the time after that.
Oh gosh. They
Stop the mood swings right there.
Yeah.
they left the hormones. They left that part. They just took out the yeah.
My first
It
wife.
was a partial. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
My first wife. I said, "Phew, boy, you're just a mean SOB." I said, "You're 20, and we can't even blame it. Can't even blame it on menopause."
You know what, y'all? I'm serious. Menopause was the best thing ever happened to me. Before that, I was a slave to my hormones because I was a moody, you know what, too. I have maybe 2 good days a month. You know?
I got to tell you, Marie, nothing bothers this woman. I mean, nothing.
See, I wish I could be that person.
She just, will go roll with it, whatever.
Mhm.
Me, I could fly off the handle. I got to know what day of the week it is, because then I know what they're serving in the county jail, whether it's going to be beans and franks or whatever. So that's how I can fly off the handle. Nothing bothers her.
Mm.
Happy. Okay, I just sometimes I just look at her and say, "Ooh, happy. Why
I
are
have
What are
you
you
being
tried
happy
happy?"
for?
tried to keep my fuse under control for years, but it's still there.
Well, I'm real high strung like that too. But as I've gotten older, I've really taken the phrase "walk away" to heart, and it has saved me probably a lot of money in blood pressure medicine.
Oh yeah,
You know, um,
I'm
and
still trying to learn to choose my battles, but I'm getting better.
years ago, I would fly off the hand. I was a female Tom, and
Tomette.
I was a Tomette.
Oh, Poppy, I feel bad for you,
And
brother.
that's why some of the things that Tom says just crack me up because I could see myself doing the same stinking stuff, you know?
Well, I mean,
Um,
there again, the other day, yesterday, in the damn grocery store, trying to pick something up to do an easy type video, blah blah blah.
yes.
And Marie, I walked in the door, Marie went, "Oh no."
He's at it again.
Yeah. She said, "Does Amazon deliver food to the house
Oh,
rather than you going out?" Just amazing,
it
just amazing.
I know
And
it's disappointing that there's no squid in Las Vegas where there's no ocean, but it might be a great idea to um plan accordingly.
well, see there again, Charlotte. There again, shoot from the hip. You know what I mean?
Right.
I shoot and then aim. you
Well,
know?
okay. Shoot first, ask questions later,
Yeah.
you know?
So, but the whole idea is, I even said to her the other day, I says, I got to calm down because I'm at the point right now. Somebody will shove my cane directly where the sun don't shine. You know what I mean? In the old days, it
And
was
that
a
is a
different.
possibility.
Yeah, it was a different story years ago. But now, getting to the
Right.
point where
Well, I
I
would
got to.
think Vegas. I mean, they've got a lot of seafoods out there. I'm surprised they didn't have the squid.
Yeah, and it's something that comes and goes. I guess Christmas time they have it. Other than that,
Oh.
But with all the nice restaurants they have out there and the buffets stuff like that, I mean, you guys probably have more seafood out there than I've got.
yeah. And but here's the problem. I mean, I could get it at the ethnic store that I go to, the Seafood City.
Right.
But I was there and looked at it. It was a box of squid that needed to be fully cleaned.
Can you
And
question, can
mhm.
you clean squid in advance and then cook it?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that's
like
what I was looking
freeze
for.
it, freeze it and then cook it later?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Okay.
So, but
You done
they didn't
got it?
have it. They didn't have it,
It's
so I
like,
said, just let me wait on it, whatever. But I want to get this video out. I don't want to waste no time. I'm going to do it like at least once a month with this new station, the new channel that I got. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll take place, but I'll do it a different way with these squid steaks.
Right.
So Johnny Mags.
Well, it sounds like it could be a really fun challenge,
Yeah.
to use a different, the squid steak versus the calamod. Is that how you say it?
I say Galamon. Galamon.
Calamod. Um,
The, the whole idea was, okay,
yeah,
not to be too labor intense with it because of
sure. Because you're trying to do quick and easy and
you're
like
not looking
tapas food.
you're not looking at me, Charlotte.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Oh,
Because of my
because
finger.
of your finger. God love you.
This is going to require now the new way of doing it's going to require a lot of cutting.
It
I'll be
will.
interested to see how you cook it. Keep it tender. If I had to cook something like that, it ended up looking like a pork crackling.
Shoot, I would end up. Mine would taste like. Remember them old fashioned thick rubber bands?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd take it way past that.
Yeah. Gosh.
There's one Italian restaurant we go to all the time, and we had it one time, and the second time we went back, I said, Marie, you want to get the galamon? She said, no. No.
They're
Rubberly.
awful.
Yeah. She says their way of doing it's better for bait.
I normally do not eat that. Um, it's just not. I love oysters. I love most seafood, but that is not something I really enjoy. And not this Italian restaurant that we used to go to, it's now closed. It's a Mexican place now. And in fact, a very good Mexican place. But this Italian restaurant, we go there with the whole family, including the adults. And one of my daughters ordered it, the calamari.
Hmm.
And Tom, I am not kidding you. It was amazing. It was fluffy and tender and perfectly seasoned. And I'm like,
Yep.
oh my gosh, is this what it's supposed to taste like?
And you go back into the history with it. So this became popular in the late '80s into the '90s.
Oh,
So rather than calling it squid, they decided to make the Italian name for calamari. Okay.
okay. Okay.
But everybody took it to the next level. Was can I have the calamari, please? But I would go down into Little Italy and sit down. Like I said, I would do everything unorthodox to what the way they would serve it and stuff. And I
Right.
became pretty good friends with one of the managers and the one chef in the place. And we would go back and forth. So do you want hot sauce? Yeah, we want hot sauce. You call this hot sauce?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
and we get
There
into
we
that.
go.
Yeah, and the smoke would be coming out of my ears, but I couldn't give in to the guy. You know what I mean? He was. I would drink my Chianti, and I would ask for a glass of ice, and he'd flip out. Son of a bitch!
Oh,
Kick
is
the
that
door
the
open.
one?
Yeah, would kick the door and run into the kitchen and come back out again. I mean, the one sauce he came out with was purple. I mean, that's how
Oh,
they must have put stuff in it like that. But we became fast friends afterwards, and their galamad was really good. But you would go down different streets in Mulberry Street in Little Italy, and off these little side places. That's why I said it wasn't gourmet stuff, but it was really really good.
so
Some of
let
the
me ask you this. Were they restaurants or was
yeah,
this like bar food?
no, it
In
was restaurants. They were
was it okay?
restaurants. Yeah, but at one place, one place, the favorite place. It's not there anymore. But what they did was called Villa Penza. Now this place, it was the waiters had tuxedos and the big long aprons, white aprons.
Wow.
Okay, and this was right across the street from Ferraris. Ferraris was worldwide known for their pastries.
Okay.
All right, so I I would go into Villa Penza, but Villa Penza had to break chops because what they did was they opened a restaurant up on the second floor. So they had these stairs built. with big white columns to oversee everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one up on everybody on the street. But their veal that they would do, that's this tonight's going to be the video. Their veal was fork tender. I mean, with a side of pasta, nothing
It's
fancy,
delicious.
but the flavors and everything was so good. I mean, it just
Mm.
and the chef there, we became friends, and he said to me, he said, Tom, we don't have a big menu, okay, but what we do, we enjoy doing it, and we're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
That stuck with me, you know.
Yeah.
So, you're not going to go in there and ask for all these different crazy Americanized Italian food, okay,
Right.
and it be ho hum. This was fantastic all the time.
Wow.
So, yeah. That's basically what it was, almost like a tribute. I feel like I'm getting old, long in the tooth now. That I'm going back in my past and different places that I used to go to.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
Tom, that's entertaining.
yeah,
Do you know? In fact, I would give anything to sit with one of my old grandmothers,
Oh, don't
that's
you know it?
and just have a conversation.
right.
Because the way, my mind now is so much, well, it's different than it was when I was in my early 20s when I lost both of them. And, well, early to mid 20s. And there's so many things I would ask, what'd you do for fun? Yeah, stupid things like that, but I didn't ask those when I was young. I was just
Yeah,
like, "Oh god, not another story." You
I
know?
never, I never knew none of my grandfathers on either side.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
I was, that was like, wow. I would watch kids in school, with their grandfather and this and that. That's why I try
Mhm.
to push it a little bit more with my grandsons.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? I scooped him up last week. I get in the car. Come on. Where we going, Pop? He's all excited. And we went to a Texas barbecue joint. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And he loves it. He loves barbecue. He loves ribs and stuff like that. And there wasn't too much chit chat at the table when we were when we were eating. So
He was busy eating.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm looking to go with that channel and stuff like that. So
Right.
and it's more relaxing to me. Marie goes about her business, what she's doing, okay.
Uh-huh.
And then like tonight she did like that book. There's 4 or 5 other people that she's involved with, and they'll send her lines. And tonight they sat for 2 hours and they went through this, I guess like an audio book that this
Oh,
guy
okay.
wrote. So she did that, and what I like to do is when that's going on, I'm in the kitchen playing with stuff.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I'm gonna do one where I'm making butter. I'm gonna be making butter. Then I'm gonna be making cheese. I'm gonna make some fresh mozzarella cheese,
Oh, that sounds delicious.
and
Teach
and
me.
that's the stuff that I'm working on. You know what I mean? So I'm anxious to see my friend Mr. Grumpus get back on that big pit.
I am
Yeah,
too.
I'm ready to climb all over it.
And I heard you say you were looking forward to it, which is
Yeah, yeah.
good.
I mean, I had the fire going all day, so I went ahead and threw that chicken on it, so I wouldn't waste all the heat, the wood. Boy,
Right.
I stunk up the neighborhood. Ooh, ain't nothing
Yeah,
like the smell of burning old grease.
yeah, but I mean that's all good stuff. I had to let my new neighbor upstairs and the neighbor next door. I got pigeon problems. I got nothing but pigeons everywhere.
Ew.
Okay, so the lady next door, I know she's throwing breadcrumbs out. Okay, I went and I bought on Amazon hoot owls. It look like they're flying. Right? They got a little bell on top of the thing, and it's got a long streamer on it.
Mm-hmm.
They fly right past them things. They could they like laugh at it. You know what I mean?
No kidding.
I got to go out and clap my hand and do all this kind of crazy stuff. So I'm getting kind of getting a little ticked off about it because they come up on my balcony, and then you know what happens after that.
Yeah. I wonder
So
what would happen if you got an audio of an owl that you could put out there.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? They come no matter. If I don't see, if I'm not there, I don't see them. But there's pigeon crap everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's the funny thing:
Well, they call that. Well, there's a name for pigeon when you cook it.
squab.
Squab. That's it. I
Well,
almost said scarab, and I'm like, no, that's a beetle.
but funny you should bring that up, Charlotte. Funny you should bring that up. Okay,
Yeah.
I got in trouble with my wife because somehow or another there was a video playing on my computer. Okay,
Uh-huh.
when she come walking in of a guy cooking squab pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna cook them pigeons. She started
Oh
yelling,
no, she just assumed that you were.
looking at a video.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable.
Well, there's, free food
I gotta look at it that way.
during the
So
Depression. My ex-mother-in-law, she used to tell us stories about this all the time. Her father used to go down to the park and put things out for the geese, and he'd tie a string to it. And when it went through him, he'd pull the geese home.
come on, walking a goose.
And, and yeah, she said he'd bring home geese all the time because that was what they ate during the Depression.
Yeah. I gotta be kind of easy with it here because I can't make too much of a stink because somebody will start screaming, "He's eating the dogs and the cats." Unbelievable. But it is a pain in the butt, though. I mean, they're everywhere, but
Yeah.
not all the time. Just certain times. Okay.
So certain times of
And
the year or certain times
every
of
day, certain time, I'll go out. I got one of them PVC pipes. I'll go out and bang on the thing, and they'll take off. They'll be gone for a little while. But she's feeding them. She's
Of
putting
course
bread
she
out.
is. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Well, there it is right there.
Yeah. So
She shouldn't be doing that. And if I was you, if it was me, I'd be calling down to the office.
I
Hey,
did.
this dingbat over here is feeding the pigeons, and there's crap all over everybody's patios.
So you're right, but there's a method to my madness because, all right, when I fire up my smoker,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
I get it.
Yeah, it's got to be a little give and take.
yeah, I gotta get a little.
Yeah, till the crap gets in your smoker.
Yeah, well, that would be coming because I'm smoking pigeon. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I've never had squab.
It's good. I used to eat it years
Is
ago.
it like quail?
Yeah. To me, it has that little bit of a rubbery,
Oh,
rubbery taste to it, but it's okay. It's good. That and a couple beers.
I've never had dove either.
Rubbery in flavor or just texture?
Texture.
Okay.
Texture. Yeah. I mean, you can however way you would do them. Quail's my favorite.
Mine
Quail
seems
is.
to love it.
I'm telling you. I mean, even Dove. Dove's not bad either. North
I
Carolina.
haven't had that.
Yeah. North
And
Carolina.
honestly,
I
don't know
see
where I
some-
would get it except to go dove hunting.
Yeah.
A
That's it.
lot of white winged dove down here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They're
So,
sitting on the telephone wires up here. I'd love to. Never mind.
Yeah. It's a shame that we can't say what we want to say. I have a problem with that.
In fact, that bunny behind you looks awfully appetizing too.
Yeah. I just thinking that looked pretty good on the pit too.
Oh, Grumpus, that's what you should do on the pit.
Easter, a rabbit.
No, not for Easter. No, good Lord have mercy.
I mean, I'm all in.
Well, it might get you views. I'm roasting the Easter bunny. Come on over.
Maybe we get some kind of flack from that for sure.
I probably should.
It'd be worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I had with the podcast last Monday. There were so many people that were back and forth with it, and I just let it go. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
listen to it.
Yeah.
And I had a couple a couple people, I guess, that were vegans that chimed in. Okay, you're going to be sorry over
Oh
that red meat you're
Lord.
eating, and I mean getting into it. And rather than me going back my normal way, going back, who the hell are you?
Right,
Whatever, this
right.
and that. I said, please explain yourself. Bloop.
Mm-hmm.
Heard nothing. You
Right, 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 right.
know what I mean? I don't know. But,
Well, if I were a vegan, and I'm not, and don't ever pretend to play one on TV either, um, I don't think I'd be hopping in on keto and carnivore type channels.
but that's the only way
Instead,
to
to
that's the
make
only way to get some satisfaction. They feel like they're
right.
going to tell you exactly
Well,
what
they
you
need
know.
a good steak.
Yeah,
Well, pretty
Yeah.
much everything I eat's vegetarian.
yeah,
Who?
I said pretty much everything I eat's vegetarian.
Yeah,
yeah.
it eats grass,
That's like at that
That's like me having a salad, isn't it?
right?
Al Weisberg burger. His channel is Eat More Vegans.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that. Oh god.
Well, I saw one of my rehab nurses here a week or so ago,
Yeah.
and we were just talking. She said, "Well, just try to," because she always wanted to know about my diet.
Yeah.
She said, "Well, try to have a salad when you have that brisket."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Well, a salad's like three vegetables, right?" And she said, "Something like that." And I said, "Well, onions and pickles and jalapenos, that sound like a salad to me."
Oh my gosh. So you don't like to eat vegetables at all?
Yeah, yeah, I eat them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But if you talk to a nutritionist, that's all you'd eat is grass.
Well, and yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you'd be eating the wrong kind of grass.
Right.
I'd
Or
rather smoke it.
I had a gal just a couple of days ago call me from the clinic
uh-huh.
because my blood work, my calcium was a little high.
Uh-huh.
So she's telling me, try to lay off some of that. And I said, well, sound like you all just want me to die hungry.
Right.
So I had to call them back because I got one doctor telling me back off the calcium. I got another doctor got calcium pills I'm taking every day. So that might
Oh
be
my
why it was
goodness.
elevated.
Yeah, that'll also play with your kidneys also.
So
That'll you'll start evacuating more calcium that way also.
yeah,
Tell them all to go pee up a rope and just live your life out.
well, I just told him the last time I saw him, I said, I want to get off as much of these pills as I can.
What the devil? Guys, I'll be right back. My computer just went berserk.
Uh oh.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
all right. We I mean nothing from a box. Back off the sugars. Watch the carbs and move on. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean that's basically because everything they're telling you is full of shit. I mean it's
Well,
all
I
about
mean, a little bit of common sense is really all you need.
yeah yeah.
That was weird. It was flashing and it was like it was almost flipping. Remember how TVs used to flip?
Yeah. What'd you have to do?
Kind of like it
Reboot?
was going? That's strange. I don't know what caused that. Maybe I should post.
How'd you fix it?
I just backed out of EV Mux and came back in.
Oh, okay.
I closed the whole tab and then clicked on the link that you sent me again and did it that way.
Well, I'm not sure what's up with EV Mux tonight. This background
Uh-huh.
that you see moving,
Yeah.
the blue,
Mm-hmm.
is not moving on the stream.
What blue?
Well,
I
oh,
see.
that it looks purple to me and it
Well,
is
it's
moving.
purple, blue, magenta, red. It keeps
Yeah.
changing colors.
Oh yeah, it is
Yeah,
changing colors. Yeah.
But
It's
you can
moving.
see it. It's got some animation to it.
it's
Mm-hmm.
moving here on mine.
But
Yeah,
out on the screen, it's not moving. Out
Oh,
on YouTube.
oh,
So that's kind of odd.
that is odd.
huh?
See,
Another
You're right.
EV Mux quirk, I guess.
when I
You're right.
asked Google about the Kroger's, I forgot to turn your video back on. Yikes.
And this is a background that comes with EV Mux.
Mm-hmm.
So if I change it to this, which
Let me
also
see.
comes from EV Mux, that seems to be going out on the
It
YouTube.
is. It is.
And it's working on YouTube also.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So go figure.
That's strange.
Huh? I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I
Just another quirk.
Yeah, and my live, well, actually the recording that I do on EV Mux, that's it lagged a little bit. I'm saying, what the hell? What's going on with it? But when I checked into it, it said it's the transfer from EV Mux over to OpenShot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where that is catching up. So I don't know. I have to work on that a little bit. It's not that bad, but it's there and it bothers me for $25 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, I'm still on
Now,
the monthly plan on this one while I kick the tires. I mean, I like it. The learning curve is a little higher than I thought it would be. But I'm
it is.
starting to get a handle on it. But
right.
there are some quirks about it, just kind of odd.
I like the EV Mux better than I like the Restream. I do not care for that at all. And I don't know why. Because it's pretty much the same
Yeah.
as StreamYard, but I do not care for it.
Yeah. I like EV Mux as good as any of the web-based ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
StreamYard really shot themselves in the foot.
They did.
They did.
I mean, they
Because
just
they could come back now and back retro the old prices and stuff. People's done found alternatives. They're not going to go back.
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
I
I
had a little
still use
problem.
their free version, but I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah, Charlotte. The other night you had quite a few people in your uh, live.
Did I?
Yeah, I mean, at one point I think it was like 20, 24, 25
Oh, wow.
people that were watching. Yeah,
I don't pay that much
Was that
attention.
on Tuesday?
I think it was.
Was it
Yeah.
Tuesday? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
think it
I'll
was.
tell you the difference is when I do a live like this through StreamYard, I don't get near as many views as when I do the vertical through the Shorts app. And that's what I did Tuesday was the vertical through the Shorts app. Was it two? I don't think I went live. Was that me or was that Jackie?
No, you were on. I don't know if it was Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember.
Monday. Oh no, I was on StreamYard Monday. What? No, wait.
Yeah, I think it was on Streamyard.
Was it?
Now
Because I was
we,
late.
we
I was so late doing my live stream that night. I ended up falling asleep and didn't wake up until like 5 minutes before I went online because I was feeling guilty. Like, oh my gosh, this is the one night that everybody knows I come live, and I wasn't there, and I felt terrible about it. But I ended up going live. Let me look at my thing
I
here.
can't
That
I
was
can't
Monday
remember.
night.
But yeah, you did have quite a few people in there,
I
and I'm saying,
I
wow.
did. 195 views on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a
Eh,
lot considering that it was through StreamYard. Because
Now,
normally I get those kind of views when I do a vertical live stream, like when I do my diamond painting
mm-hmm.
and my short crochet streams during the week, not Monday, but the rest of the week. I
Right.
always get 200 or 300 views on those, but you don't get paid for those. Well,
But
you
that,
do. If they're looking at it on the shorts feed, you don't get paid for it. But if they're looking at it from a notification or a replay, then you do get paid for it.
I had the other day. You got to listen to what they're saying. They'll send YouTube will send you out. Well, actually, they'll send me out different ideas to do and try this, blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. I joined their, I guess, creator deal, whatever it is. I mean, there's 100 people, 1,000 people to get on this thing, and you put in your what your gripes are and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I guess it came back. I said, I'm losing on shorts. Okay,
Okay.
shorts were the king for me as far as with the keto channel. Okay,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
put one up the other night, and it was I got 161 views. I mean, what the hell? But
Great.
I noticed that they sent me the same thing over onto the Sunday Dinner Chef to
Uh-huh.
start putting up more shorts. So when I put shorts up on that, all right, bang, through the roof.
Right.
900,
No kidding.
800. Yeah. So I'm saying they're playing ball here with it, but it kicked off and it was like 565 matter of 20 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever.
Right.
And I wrote the number down. Went back about an hour later and it was
Mhm.
400 and something.
Oh.
So either they're filtering them out or not putting them up, but eventually it came back up to that number again. So I don't know exactly what they're doing.
I don't either because I always lose views every day. I'll think that I've got a certain amount of hours, and then I go back the next day and I look, and they've taken 40 or 50 hours from me.
Wow.
I have no idea why, but
Wow,
they
wow,
do.
wow.
I haven't even been watching my hours. Now, my subscribers have always, heck, for the last 2 years, they've been bouncing about 8, give or take,
Mm.
at any given time.
Mhm. Mine keeps steadily going up. Now it might only be 4 a week or 8 a week, but they keep steadily going
Yeah.
up.
I mean,
Um,
I'll gain a couple and I'll lose 3 and gain 5 and lose 2. I mean,
mhm,
they're just,
mhm.
the average has been the same about the last 2 years.
I'll be.
Yeah, see the
Well,
one I
isn't that
did.
about when you stopped uploading videos?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, people's not going to watch the same old stuff.
Yeah,
Right, right.
but yeah, it's same day, almost the same. Within an hour or so on the keto channel, I put up
Mhm,
a short 165 views. Okay, go
mhm.
over to Sunday where they told me to put them up. All right, which I did.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Come on, computer. Um, go to content. It was, yeah, 930
Wow.
on that one side. 930, and then another one was 309. Another one was 409. And the last one I put up was 110. So I'm just watching it because they're talking about how they're changing how they calculate them. All right.
Okay.
Because my biggest bitch is you're telling me to put up shorts, okay? And actually gotta change titles 3 or 4 times to get any kind of views popping. Okay, and then once
Mhm,
it goes up, it goes up. I said, but with your time that you put it up, I only get like maybe 10, 12 hours, and then
mhm,
it goes away. Oh
mhm.
no, that's not right. That's not correct. You're missing something on it. And we went back and forth on it, and then finally they told me there was a glitch with my stuff that was being put up. An excuse, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it all caught up. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
now
Huh.
for a while, you would go into your and click on for your comments. Okay, blank, nothing.
Yes.
And then
That
I
happened to
click
me for a while too.
and I click on it, and then it would pop up. So I don't know if we're under construction. Jesus, everything's under construction. Unbelievable. But
Excuse me.
there again, it is what it is. We actually work for them, and we got to deal with that end of it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you hate the game, but it's the only game in town.
yeah. I mean, you turn around and how many are out there that have 3 or 4 million? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So there's not many. So
Not many at all. Um, y'all, my dog ate his toy that I just bought him.
Mama, that was
Um,
good.
I'm terrified because he just did it today. Um, like yesterday when I bought it for him, or was it Friday? Whatever day it was, we went to Tractor Supply. And I gave it to him. He was happy. Oh, happy, happy. And within 15 minutes, he had pulled some of the rope out of it. And I'm like, really? So, and it was supposed to be one of those really tough ones,
Uh
that
huh.
no, no, no. He tore an entire arm off of it and it's gone. I looked all over this kitchen because he has not been anywhere but the kitchen with me all day.
Yeah.
Well,
He's sitting
look again in a
outside.
couple of days.
Yeah.
Well, uh, earlier this evening, he started doing the. So Wesley runs him outside and followed him to see where he barfed. And there was orange pieces in it, which is the color of the toy. And I'm like, oh my God, no, 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 no,
Fiber.
no.
He's got a lot of fiber.
Oh, jeez.
Literally. Well, this morning I'm sitting at the computer and I get the door open and my blinds open and I see this something goes past my vision here and I look out, look over by the thing. There's a little dog running up in the the street here. And I says, Marie says, "Did you just see something?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "It looked like a little dog." So she goes and stands by the door, looking, looking, looking. Not just for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, for about 20 minutes watching this little dog run around. No, I told it. No, 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 no.
You're not a dog owner, huh?
No, 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 no. We were. No, 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 no. I don't do the pooper scooper. I don't walk at midnight at night. Okay. I have a hard enough time going to the doctor. Imagine me trying to go to a vet. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
no.
then finally somebody come around with their car and
Yeah.
picked him up and he just must have got out. So. But she was just looking. She don't want a dog either. But last dog we had was stone deaf.
Oh, no.
It was a Maltese.
Oh.
And but that little bastard heard me come home at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I can assure you that when people come home in this house, everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. He goes berserk. But you know something? I'll tell you what happened yesterday. I was so happy with him. He's a lab mix.
Okay.
And I say he's a lab mix because he's really German Shepherd and Labradoodle. But
Dude.
his whole personality is lab. He's wild, absolutely wild. And he doesn't like to he'll listen as long as we're in the house. He does everything I tell him to do in the house. He is very respectful. He does get a little wound up when people come over and wants to, bark and jump. But I have a baby gate up, so he can't jump on the people. He can jump at the baby gate, and that's it. But as soon as I tell him no, lay down, he does. He doesn't want to, but he does. So the problem I have with him is outside. Too many distractions, too much stuff to smell. He can't pay attention to me. Yesterday, I was at the chicken coop, and his favorite thing to do when I walk outside is to run up to the chicken coop door, run full speed ahead, and then he stops right before he gets to the door and scares the daylights out of the chickens. You can hear him go, you know.
More eggs, more
Well,
eggs.
I caught him yesterday. I caught him in time yesterday to tell him no, right? And I was really mean about it too. And he stopped and turned and looked at me. And I said, sit. He sat down and I pointed to the ground and he laid down and I put my hand out because we do hand signals a lot. And I put my hand out for stay. He stayed. I walked back over to the house, got the rake because Poppy was in the chicken coop putting pine shavings down, handed Poppy the rake and told him, okay. And he got up. And I'm like, oh my God, it's working. It's taken a year and a half, but finally he's listening to me outside. I was so happy. That's a milestone for him. It truly is.
When I was a kid, my older brother used to work for Squibb, okay,
Mhm.
and that's where they did all the testing with the animals, with dogs and monkeys and stuff like that.
Hey,
So
Marla. I'm sorry.
they had one German Shepherd. It was pretty young. Alicia was a female, but he just couldn't see his dog going through anything. He took it out for a walk and put it in his car and brought it home. Okay, they
Okay.
said, well, it ran away. Anyway, so we had Alicia for a couple of years. So my dad took a shine to this dog. It was unbelievable. So we had a neighbor down the street, all right, woman, busybody, all right,
Uh,
and she would come up to the house and just see this, and because my dad was a part-time cop, he was, and he would take care of all the problems that was in our neighborhood. He couldn't stand this one. Here comes this busybody sob and blah 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 blah, right?
blah, blah, blah.
But she come into the house and she's bitching and moaning to my dad about something, and the dog went up behind her and stuck his nose up, or her nose up the butt of this lady, and the dog sneezed. Them things. Well, you should have heard my old man. He went off with that.
Oh my goodness.
Get
That's
the hell out of
hilarious.
here. My dog's allergic to your ass. Now get out of here.
Ooh, that must
Unbelievable.
have smelled terrible for that dog to sneeze like that.
He's like, I'm looking at him, kid. I'm in holy crow.
Oh my goodness.
We had my dad used to raise Boston Terriers,
I love Bostons. Love them.
and we had this one Ginger. Okay, Ginger
Mhm.
was the mom, and somebody, I don't know how far away, would come over, and they would drop the mail off and blah blah blah,
Right.
and then she'd have a litter of pups. But he only did it once every 2 years,
Okay.
and just because and half the time he gave the pups away, whatever. But Ginger, he made a canopy bed for Ginger with the canopy on it. Okay, he was a carpenter. He was a cabinet maker.
Yeah.
It's and he made that. But one night I had pistachios. Remember pistachios were red at
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pistachio.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I must have dropped one or two on the floor. Ginger found the nuts. Okay, cracked it, spit the shells out, and ate the nut. It was like a modern marvel. I mean, holy crap! Look at that. Them hard rubber balls. Okay, she would get chewing on that rubber ball and put it on the mouth. I'd say, "Come on, throw it," and she and do something with her mouth and shoot the ball at you. So balls and stuff like that. So one night we were getting ready. It was the afternoon, and I had the flashlight for some odd reason, but the flashlight had the magnet on it. Got to put it on the refrigerator. That's there for an emergency, not to be played with. Blah blah blah. So we're leaving, and I put the flashlight back up onto the refrigerator. So Ginger, I would take the light and put it on the floor and spin it around, and Ginger would just twirl around like until she'd fall over. Well, we leave, and we went to my grandmother's house for the weekend. We come back Sunday afternoon, from Friday afternoon to Sunday. Okay, Ginger, I put the flashlight up on the refrigerator, and it must have been on, and the beam was on the ceiling, and it looked like a ball. Ginger must have stayed there the whole time from Friday to Sunday. Didn't eat none of her food. The water was still full.
Oh my.
I caught hell for that one.
Oh,
But
imagine. Um, yeah, Virgil's a good dog, and I think when he grows up, if he ever grows up, um, he'll settle down quite a lot. But right now, he's just He's intense. Intense. And one thing I have to break him of, and I'm not sure how, Grumpus, you might have an idea. He tries to race me out the door. And I wouldn't mind it if I was 30, but he's very likely eventually, as I age, to throw me off balance and I'll end up breaking a hip or something. And I really don't want that. So I'm not quite sure how to I'm not sure how to correct that behavior.
They have a thing out here. Well, actually, where I live, at this community here, where they tell you if you happen to see an elder having trouble with their animals, dogs, cats, whatever,
Mhm.
to let the office know. So I wonder how I could work that in with the pigeons. Maybe if I take a pigeon and put a leash around it and let that lady next door walk it or something, they'll do something. But let them know, because I told you this before. There was a woman around the corner from me. She had the walker, walking two dogs
Oh no.
with the walker. I mean, really? Come on. It's time
Well,
to let
and
go.
I'll tell you something. I would be afraid to report that to the office because what if those people want to take the animal away from the elder?
Yeah, that's
You
that's
know,
basic. That's why I said to Maria, I said,
call adult services and have adult services come out there and say you can't have your animal anymore. That would be devastating
Exactly, and
for
that's
a
just what I
senior.
told Marie. I said it's none of my
Mhm.
business, none of your business what that lady does and how she does her
Right,
life.
right. And I mean, I might offer help, but I sure wouldn't report it to the office.
Right? It's almost ridiculous how these different foolish, stupid laws that they have can
Right.
disrupt a a whole community with
Yeah.
nonsense. But now getting back to the pigeons, I think if I made some apple cider rub with it, pluck them.
You think that would make it taste good or run them off?
I don't know. And see there again, you can't do nothing there because God forbid you find a pigeon laying on the ground. Who are they
Yeah.
going to look at? They're going to look at me.
Yes.
That fat
Yes.
guy over there, he's eating them.
Not if it's laying on the
Pigeon
ground.
fat.
Yeah. Is pigeon
Mm-mm.
keto?
Sure it is.
Uh, unbelievable.
Well, it would be better than cat food, I'm sure. In a pinch. In a pinch.
I'll tell you what, that's not very affordable either.
I
No.
know. Believe my dad was talking to me today, and he called to check on my daughter and see if how she was doing, and then he was out feeding his cats. He goes at about 5 o'clock every evening. He goes and feeds the cats at the
Yeah.
fire station. And it's not a manned fire
Hmm.
station; it's a volunteer type fire station. So, and it's right next door to it in this empty lot, and that's where the cats live, and that's where they go and eat when my dad feeds them. And he said that Mama Cat, that's what he calls her, she's been there the longest, has gone off and had some kittens because she wasn't there last night. And when she came back this evening, she was a lot thinner than she was the day before. So then I said, well, how many do you have now? And he thinks they're his cats. I mean, he considers them his cats. He feeds them, they're his cats. And he goes, oh, he starts counting. He said eight, about 8 or 9. I'm like, oh my God. I said, Dad, how much are you spending to feed these cats? He says, oh, it's just about $30, $35 a week. Seriously?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably so.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I mean, I spend about $30, but it's every 2 weeks. And that includes the litter too. And I get the crystal litter because it works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I love it. Now, it's not the expensive one. It's made by a company called Vibrant Life. And I think I pay like $11 for an 8-pound bag. and it's not heavy. It's like really lightweight.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that fills 2 litter boxes, and we have 4, so I get 2 of those every payday. And then I get, well, maybe it don't include the litter because that's $25 right there. And then
Yeah.
I feed them Purina One cat food, and then I get 9 limes. If you go to the Dollar General on Saturday, you can get 9 lives really cheaper than most anything else. I think it's a dollar something, and then you buy enough to cover $25, right? And then you get $5 off. So you get like 16 cans, maybe 15 for $20, which is a good deal because they're the big cans. They're not the little
Yeah.
baby ones. They're the 13 ounce. So that's what I do. I stock up every Saturday. I go over there and I get 15 cans of cat food. I've got more cat food here than I need, but that's okay because, if we have a hurricane or something, they're going to need it.
Yeah.
All,
Dusty eats dry food.
Yeah. Well,
all the prices, everything's going up. No matter what you look at. I mean, everybody, I bitch about the meat prices and stuff, but it's the other stuff that's taken off
oh,
also
yeah,
because
definitely.
they know once we get to the store, we're going to pay for it.
Right.
Basically, that's
I went to the feed store yesterday. I've got a few bird feeders up,
Right.
have for decades,
Hmm.
and I picked up 50 pounds of the black sunflower seeds.
Okay.
It was $38.
Oh my gosh.
And I told her, I said, I'm going to start eating these birds. I can't afford to feed them.
yeah.
Right.
But I used to buy that bag. Well, I may sound like my dad now. A few years ago, I used to pay about
Back in the
$12 for that
day.
50-pound
Back
bag.
in my day,
Dad feeds the birds at his house too. And I think he gets some kind of mix for songbirds or something.
Yeah.
And I think he gets a 50-pound bag however often he gets it.
That'll last me about 2 months.
Oh no, it won't last him that long. He
In fact, I say birds. I put it out for the squirrels too.
there you go. There you go.
no.
There you go.
Tree rats.
Well, I mean, the squirrels will curl up in a crock pot real nice.
Oh yeah. I see quite a bit of squirrel. That was the other thing. I was talking to another guy who from overseas, a chef and stuff like that, and he was talking about different animals that they still eat here and there. About how they would go and buy a lamb, and he would have a lamb butchered up, put it in the freezer, and the whole bit. And I said, that's the problem now. I think we're the last generation that actually cooked game. We actually,
No.
I would go hunting. I liked rabbit hunting, pheasant, and quail. Okay, they were my mainstay. Plus, I go deer hunting. You know what I mean? But I like the challenge of bird hunting, rabbit hunting, stuff like that. So, and we would eat it. Okay, especially at our bar before we became a full restaurant. We would have at the end of hunting season. We would open up on a Sunday afternoon because it was a rock and roll place. But we'd set up tables and chairs, and we'd have a game dinner. And it was like a half-ass hunting club and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But everybody would bring their stuff the night before or a couple days before, and we'd cook it. All that stuff: pheasant, quail, ton of quail, rabbits, or grouse, all kinds of stuff like that, and some venison and everything like that. And we'd sit down, pitchers of beer and stuff like that. You don't hear about that no more.
No. I mean, I was taught at a very early age, if you're not going to eat it, you don't kill it.
Right.
Exactly. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
So, I mean, even when I lived in North Carolina, my neighbor down the street, he said, Tom, he said, because my property, his property surrounded my property, okay, and he had cows and stuff like that. And he said, you see any coyotes or anything like that? Feel free on my property to bounce them, whatever. And then we started getting hit with feral pigs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we had one come through and destroyed Miss Marie's garden.
Ooh.
Okay, and before she would tell me, "Oh, look at that little rabbit out there," this and that. I said, that little rabbit just took out half of your row of lettuce.
Yep.
Oh, kill that son of a bitch! But yeah, I mean, with the pigs coming through, and I tell you what, that was good eating. And that was really good eating. But
Wesley used to go hog hunting.
Yeah, I would like to go on a
He's in
hog hunt.
Florida.
I've never done that.
Matter of fact, I don't want to get too deep into this, but that was the big controversy about suppressors. Okay, because most of the time the pigs would come in at night
Right.
and they would destroy. I mean, destroy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get 10, 15 of them feral hogs.
Yep.
They'll destroy everything. Okay,
Yes, they do.
and that's why there was a big problem about using suppressors. But it's at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to hear a bunch of gunshots. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So, but yeah, but you don't hear that no more. You don't hear of anybody going hunting, or buying game.
Well, I think it depends on where you live too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because, here where I live, that don't happen. I mean, I'm in a fairly urban-ish area. But now go to my dad's house, they hunt all the time up there. Now my dad doesn't. And his land is a sanctuary, but across
Right.
the street at my uncle's house, they hunt off the back porch. They've got their rifles set up. They've got deer spotting lights. They've got anything that you need to be, and it's a 2-story house. So they're up on the second story, lawn chairs, beer cooler, you name it. It's all out there. And they just sit up there and right off the back porch.
When I first moved to Texas, we living in Katy. One of the guys I worked with, he said, "Hey Tom," he said, "you want to go do some jackrabbit hunting?" Sure. Okay. And I'm thinking to myself, God, what do I bring? So I brought my shotgun. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
He looked at me and said, "What in the hell are you gonna do with that?" I said, "Kill some jackrabbits. What are you talking about?" "Nah, it ain't the way we hunt jackrabbit down here." Okay. He had his pistol with this big scope on it.
Oh!
And then you climb up into a pickup truck it looked like it was on a boat, like a fly bridge.
Yeah.
The guy driving through the stuff like that. Boom,
Awesome.
boom. I
That's
got to
some
get me
redneck
one of these.
stuff they'd have done in the town I was raised in.
I got to get me one of these. This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. That.
Funny as hell.
You
But
sure
it's
that
strange,
wasn't Florida?
different types of hunting. I mean, I'm from the Northeast. I'm used to getting long johns, boots, what a hunting gear on. Texas, you had short sleeve shirt and shorts.
Yeah.
So I'm liking this.
Heck yeah. Of course, you don't want to go hunting in shorts anywhere because the skeeters are out and you'll be eaten alive.
Well, you're driving on a truck 80 miles an hour.
Oh well, that's different. Yeah.
Chasing
Yeah.
a jackrabbit.
These rednecks over here, they'll be in flip flops and shorts. Have their face painted so they can't be seen.
And they smell the high heaven. I used to know a guy who went turkey hunting
Oh, I love turkey
in
hunting too.
Florida. And I don't know where they found turkeys in Florida, but they did. And no, wait, yeah, that was Florida. And his name was Wayne. And one day he would go without taking a shower for like 4 days, 4 or 5 days. And he would spray all kinds of, I'm not going to say it.
You can say
You know
it.
what I'm talking about. Scents.
Yeah.
Scents all over him. And he would wrap his gun in camouflage tape.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I said to him one time, I said, Wayne, why are you wrapping the gun? He said, so the
Turkeys.
turkeys don't see me.
Turkey's a
I said,
very, very, very smart animal. I tell you what,
that's
or a
what he
bird.
said. Well, I started laughing. I'm like, you think turkeys aren't going to see you?
Yeah. Or smell you.
Well, it's
Hey,
funny
buddy, you need right guard, buddy.
I know, right? He said, what was it? He said he came home without a turkey, right? And I looked at him and I said, I guess wrapping that gun didn't help. I said, them turkeys were over there saying, look at that idiot. He thinks we
With the
can't see
wrap
that
gun.
gun. He's like, ha ha ha, that's funny, blah blah blah. No, that was
Unbelievable. I
but
have
you
one.
know, they I guess they're real skittish too. And if they see the flash of the barrel or the metal, that they
You
run
only
away.
get one shot. You only get one shot at them because they're gone.
Right,
Uh,
right.
you can sit there for hours, hours and hours, call them in the whole bit,
Mm,
and if they think something's not right, they're gone.
yeah.
They're out of
And
there.
they have a weird sense about them, you know?
Hmm.
It's kind of interesting. Okay, there's my dinosaur foot, y'all.
That's gonna be a big dinosaur, isn't it?
Look, this dinosaur has got clodhopper feet. Okay.
Bigfoot.
When I was making it last night, I was on Jackie's channel and we were making them. I said, Jackie, these feet are awful big. She said, I know they are. She said, but trust me, once you get them all put together, it'll work out and it'll look fine. I'm like, no, I don't think so. But his head is huge too. I mean, look at his head.
Well, that's gonna be a big animal.
It looks like
Yeah.
Big Bird. Looks
Yeah.
like Barney.
He does look like Barney, doesn't he? Except, well, sort of. He's got a frill for the back of his head. So basically, it'll be kind of like this. Sort of.
Yeah, it looks like a chicken.
Where's his head? There it is.
There you
There.
go.
It's a triceratops.
Oh, I don't care for them Triceratops.
You don't care for those. Well, I'm making it for my daughter, the one that just had surgery. She asked me to make her one years and years ago, and I didn't really feel very. Here's his body. His little teeny tiny body is pretty useless. See, look.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know where the body's going to go. I don't know if it's going to go like this. I have no clue.
But
But
you
look
are
how tiny
talented.
his body is.
You are talented, that's for sure.
Oh, thank you. It's just functions.
I would
That's it.
not have the patience for that.
Oh, I would
Um,
have to be stone drunk
I have
to
never
attempt
done.
it.
I've never done stuffy this intricate before, ever. And that's one of the reasons that we're doing it on Jackie's channel because she has, and she's done this particular one before. And so she's kind of talking us through it and helping out whenever we get kind of stumped.
I was on her channel. I don't know what night it was. I was on her channel,
Hmm.
and she wasn't talking. She was just working, man.
Yeah. She does
Hey,
those, she
CJ.
calls them silent live streams. And she does. That's what she'll get on there and just work
Hmm.
nonstop. One
Yeah.
of these feet's bigger than the other one.
CJ, how you doing? CJ was at the hardware show.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yeah, in fact, we had.
Was
he
the
had
spectator working?
no, he was on the line. Come back. In fact, he come back with brought somebody back to try to beef again. That was some good stuff.
Yeah, CJ didn't make the rodeo this year. I kind of missed him.
Aw. All right, guys, I'm going to the ladies' room. I'll be back.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Grill sergeant was there also.
Now, was he working? Was he?
I think he was. I think he was
Spectator.
with another booth or something. I'm not really sure what it was. Yeah, so I had a little issue with Monument, and I even brought it up on my podcast.
Yeah.
Well, they're supposed to send me out a little grill.
I mean, the company or their product.
No, the company.
Okay.
So I turned around and sent an email out to one of the contacts, and no answer. Oh, okay, he was with Chef's Temp. Okay. And it sort of pissed me off because they didn't answer me. They didn't get back to me.
Uh huh.
All right. So what I did was I put this post up on at the end of my podcast, and I said, "Shame on you, Monument," and this and that. So somebody on one of the women I met out there, she sent me a friend request on Facebook, and then all of a sudden I got another on Facebook. I got another thing about my picture with them saying something about the show and stuff like that. So I said, "You owe me a grill." And here's what the whole thing was. Okay, I could have been an idiot about it. They wanted to send me out the one we cooked on.
Okay.
Okay, so he said, when we get done with this, you can take this grill. We'll clean it for you. Just come get it. When we're done, and it's yours. I said, I can't have it. It's too. I could bring it to my daughters, but this and that. And I said, all I want is the small one. I'm not greedy. Just send me
Yeah.
the small. Didn't hear from nobody. Okay, well, I ruffled a little bit of feathers, and that's when they contacted me after I gave them a little bit of a hard time about it, and I said, "You'll never hear Monument come from my lips again, ever." So that's how I am. That's how I roll with it. You say you're going to get me something, you're going to do something for me, do it. If not, tell me you're not going to do it, and we'll move on. No problem.
Yeah.
But don't blow smoke
Don't
up my
ghost
butt.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden now they're getting. So that's how the GM got a hold of me about if anybody out in Houston, or did I know anybody out in Houston? I said, yeah, I know a lot of people out in Houston, but I don't know if I'm going to get them involved. And that kind of stuff. Oh no, it's coming. So I had to get my address to them and all that stuff like that again. But yeah, if you,
Well,
you know,
maybe they'll come through for you.
oh no, they already said it's going to be out next week.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Good.
So
Good.
I mean, I
So what
wouldn't.
am I
I
gonna-
wouldn't have a problem working with them.
yeah, it was just that how things went. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, we're going to send it to you the whole bit. I could have took the one we cooked on.
Yeah.
But I have no room for it, and I would have to bring it to my daughters, and I don't work that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So send me the smaller one, and I'll go from there with it. So we worked out a deal. Was I'm going to do a couple videos a month, not required, but what I want to do. But I'm going to do other than hot dogs, hamburgers, and stuff like that. I'm going to make complete meals on that little grill.
Oh, okay.
So this is a pellet grill.
No, this is just a two burner gas grill.
Okay. Okay.
But they already sent me out the smoke boxes for it and stuff like that. So I'll do
Nice,
smoke
nice.
and stuff like that
Yeah.
on it. So, yeah, but it just it might have been a little bit of a slip up or whatever. Okay, but when you after they hounded me for weeks every night, 4 or 5 different emails every night, and then promised me something, and then don't come through with it, and then don't answer me. Nah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't work there. We don't work that way. So, but it was good to see CJ. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah. CJ's. I hear he shed a few pounds.
Yeah, he's keto carnivore. I mean, I think he's carnivore, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
It does work. I don't care what anybody says. It does. As long as you cut that sugar out and you cut back on the carbs, you're good to go. You know what I mean?
It does work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely
I-
works.
And if I fall off a little bit, and I'll have like some potatoes or whatever, okay, or a slice of pizza. The next day, I feel at my joints,
Really.
real bad, real bad. So I got to be careful. You got to pick your poison.
I've been trying to convince my daughter to stop eating all the carbs and stuff, but she's 20. Well, she will be. And she's just not ready yet. And I keep telling her, you'll feel so much better. She told me this morning, she said, Mom, I think I'm having a flare up of this arthritic thing. And because for 4 months now, she has been just transformed, just a different kid, different whatever she is, kid, young adult.
I remember you saying that.
She's been enjoying her life. She's been almost pain free. She's been going to the gym. She's been doing all the things and just no worries, no crying every day, no nothing. And she told me this morning, she goes, Mom, I feel like I've been hit by a truck. And, the insurance company denied her uh, biologic
Medication.
the
Yeah.
medication because it's too expensive. And they want her to try other medications, systemic medications that could possibly help. And so I told her to, she's got the portal where she can communicate with her doctors. I told her, I said, you need to go ahead and message your rheumatologist and tell him, look, I've been feeling great for 4 months. And now all of a sudden, I feel like I've been hit by a truck and I need some medication that would, because she's only been on Celebrex since December.
Yeah, see, that stuff's not that great either because that'll
It's,
make you bleed.
yeah, but I mean, she's miserable without it.
Yeah, and see there again, the cause, okay, can be poor diet, but the problem is the doctor don't say that.
Right.
Take this medication. Take this medication, and it'll be all okay.
Well, I have sent her every link in the world that associates inflammation with the foods you eat. And I've sent her all kinds of anti-inflammatory diets that she could maybe try to alleviate. I mean, she's getting the information from me,
Yeah,
but I'm mom, so I don't
but
know.
it takes a little bit to. I know myself. After Monday's podcast, and I
Hmm.
don't want to bore you with this. I had a couple people say one guy flat out. This guy started the whole mess. Okay,
Um,
as far as going back and forth with everybody, and I just let it go because the ignorance to me is crazy. All
yeah.
right, I'm telling you that 6 years I've been doing this. Okay, not every day, but on and off I've been doing it. Okay, but
Hmm.
in the beginning, hardcore. All right,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I never felt better in my life.
Right.
Okay, once you start adding back in all the other junk, because everything we eat's got junk in it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way around it. No obvious way around it. So this clown turns around and says that he was on carnivore. He was keto, no more carnivore. And what he did was he turned around and went back to high carbs, okay, and fruits, and everything dropped. So I knew. I said right away, okay, I'm not going to argue with this fool
Right.
right here. He's
Right.
trolling me the whole bit.
Hmm.
But other people got on.
Mm.
So people I don't even know, but that watch my videos and stuff
Right.
like that, they chimed in,
Yeah.
and it was kind of refreshing for me to hear, these people saying the same
The
stuff. So
same
I'm not,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not arguing that keto is the best, and that keto is a stepping stone to carnivore.
Hmm.
Okay, carnivore you can be on for a lifetime if your body can handle it.
Right.
Mine can't. But
Yeah.
now if I have a weekend candy or whatever, I'm just saying that pizza, whatever.
Then you
I go
eat
back
carnivore.
I go back to carnivore, back to elimination, and then I'll go back to
Hmm.
my other stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
but it was refreshing to see other people.
Well, the reason they're doing that, Tom, is because they've lived it too.
Right.
They've
Exactly.
done the thing. They know that it works. They know they feel better. They know that they didn't feel hungry. And if they're eating off of the keto or low carb or carnivore, whatever they're doing, if they're not implementing that at the time,
Right.
they know how badly they feel. They know that their stomach's not tolerating it very well. They
Exactly.
know that their blood sugar is probably shooting through the roof. Um, if they have that issue. And so they know the
Hmm.
difference.
So
I know the
the transformation this is tougher than alcoholism, drug addiction, and smoking. I mean, I'm living proof
yeah,
of it. Okay. Now, do I push it? No, because everybody's different.
right, right,
Okay. I mean, they're just some of the bull crap that they push out with you. Eat
right.
this from the box. it totally blows my mind. Out here, a place called Sprouts, okay, and they
Yeah.
sell keto bread. Keto bread for $9.99 for a half a loaf of keto bread. There's no such thing. You know what I mean?
No.
So,
In fact,
thank you. Babe.
I bought some low carb tortillas. Okay. Well, I brought them to Violet because that's what she asked me for. And I told her, I said, "You think those are low carb, don't you?" She goes, "Well, it says it on the bag." I said, "Well, I
Zero
got
carb.
some real tortillas up here. Let's check." 1 point difference. One
Exactly.
gram difference. One.
Exactly.
Mine were 15, hers were 14. Now you tell me about that.
Right. So here's the problem, Charlotte. Here's I stopped arguing with people because it don't make any sense. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, so I can't have that stuff to begin with.
That's right.
Okay. So what do I do with tortillas? If I'm gonna have them, I'll buy the real thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll have them, and I'll deal with the
Deal with the
consequences after.
consequences. Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
but don't pee on my leg and tell me it's
Tell me it's
raining. out,
raining. Right, right.
Okay, because it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like with your daughter and stuff like that, sad to say, they have to find their own way.
That's
They
the
got to
thing. Yeah.
they got to find out that it was their idea. And
Mhm.
guess what? I seen this guy, and he said this, blah blah blah, and let it take it running from there.
Right. Well, and not only that, but you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink.
Unless you
You
hit
know,
him with a 2x4.
well, that too. But and she's grown now. I can't make her do anything.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
That's you. It's you don't want to see them suffer. Okay,
Right.
from the ailments and stuff like that. And the mindset is that give me that magic pill that's going to help it. But
Yeah.
there's a conglomerating of a lot of stuff that is involved with it.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think that completely changing her diet would completely fix her problem. She has this condition, period.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
in her genes, it's in her DNA, whatever, and it is here to stay.
So
However, she could make herself feel better.
right, and start changing things up a little bit to where you wouldn't have to take that medication. I feel bad for Grumpus right now with all the blood thinners and stuff that he's on
Mm-hmm.
I
after
feel
what he
bad
did.
about it too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. See this right here, this finger?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the blood thinners, okay, I bled for almost 4 hours
Oh my God.
where they couldn't stop it.
Well,
Right.
when I stabbed myself in the finger, not intentionally,
Yeah,
these little baby scissors right here,
Mhm.
they are sharp as a knife. And I stabbed myself right in the finger, and it bled for about 3 hours. And it would stop, but then when I'd take the Band-Aid off, it would start all over. Or when I'd grab, pick up something, it would start all over again.
yeah.
And I knew I didn't need a stitch in it because it wasn't that deep. But it just wouldn't stop. Uh-oh.
Yes. You froze again.
Happened. Okay, let me try this.
That's the second time she froze.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, the problem with the blood thinners that I'm having is, I'm pretty active. I do things I probably shouldn't be, but look at my arm. I don't know if you can see that bruise.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I bumped into. I've
Thank
had
you.
that for almost 3 weeks.
Oh
just
my
got-
gosh.
I can just literally push real hard on my arm, and tomorrow it'll be bruised.
right.
And
Exactly.
I didn't used to do that. I mean, I'll come in and Vicky will say, "Well, what happened to your arm? Here's another one today."
You're like, I don't know.
I just bumped into something,
Right.
but it just
Oh, my.
I don't know. And,
So-
and
so-
the aggravating part is, I'm with Kelsey Siebold, and they've got everything on an app. You can
Yes.
see your doctors, your appointments, your medications, all of your
Yeah.
scheduling. You can see everything.
That's the way hers is.
All right. I went to when I went to the hospital. That was Memorial Hermann.
Mm-hmm.
They used the same app.
Okay.
So all these doctors at Memorial and Kelsey Siebold, that they can cross-reference Everything, all of my information is right there for either one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
And my primary care, he's the one that did the blood test and said I was high on calcium.
Uh-huh.
But he could see what I was taking because
Right.
my cardiologist
So he
has me
didn't
on.
say,
My cardiologist has me on a calcium
Pill.
pill, and I had to call them back and have them look up my medication. She said, "Oh yeah, there it is." I said, "Don't you reckon that's why I'm elevated in calcium because I'm taking calcium?"
yeah,
But the point I was trying to make is she should have seen that before she even called me.
Right.
yes,
They can
yes,
all see what each other's doing.
right.
But they don't.
They
And they
don't.
would
That's
bother
why
with
I have to stay on top of it.
All right. So when you go to see that doctor, it's another payment that they're getting
right.
because
Well,
it's
yeah,
not a family
absolutely.
doctor anymore. Now it's a corporation that you're dealing with. So just listen to the one I get the other day. So like I said, I went from 14 medications down to 3. All right. So one I know I just can't get off of, and the other ones I'm just well whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're not costing me anything extra, except for one. Okay, it just went up from $0 to $15. Now
Ouch.
it's not a bank breaker or anything like
Yeah.
that, but it's the principle of it.
No,
Why?
but if they all did that, it would be,
Exactly. You're right. You're 100% right.
you know?
So the one pill that I take, Eliquis, from 2016 when I had the last what do they call it, catheter done, okay, catheterization, to find out that I was nothing. You are probably 30% or 32% blocked, so we're going to put this small stent in for
Hmm.
preventative maintenance.
Hmm.
Okay,
They're not even supposed to
that's
do that.
exactly, it's against the law after the fact. Okay, what can I do about it now? That's to be on that one pill Eliquis. Okay, that makes
Hmm.
me black and blue like you, Grumpus.
Yep.
Okay,
Hmm.
if a fly lands on me, I turn black and blue.
Yep.
And the price at after I was in a donut hole was to get my pills was $586.
Yep.
I don't have anything like that.
Okay, so well, not yet. That's what I'm
I mean,
saying, not
I've
yet.
got one that I think it was $100
Hmm.
That's
that
my
I've paid
copay.
one time in 7 months.
Yeah, that's my
The
copay though.
when I first had my heart attack, they had me on a blood thinner called Brilinta,
Hmm.
and that was about $500 a month. But I have really good insurance,
Yeah,
so
I can't complain with my insurance. My prescriptions don't cost
yeah, my
hardly anything.
prescriptions are really cheap. I think it ended up costing me $30 a month for the Brilinta.
Yeah.
But I told the doctor, I said, "Look, first of all, I don't like taking this twice a day. Why do I have to take it twice a day? Can't you put me on something where I only take it once a day?
Hmm.
Because I keep forgetting the second dose anyway." And he
Right.
said, "Sure." So he changed me over to Plavix, and I haven't had any problems with that. And that is like $6,
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, and the whole fact of the matter is, that was my copay through with Medicare. Medicare paid
Oh, hmm,
whatever it was in the thousand, and then it was like $1,500, and I had to pay the rest, 500 and
right.
some dollars for 3 months supply. But
Hmm.
don't stop taking this pill. You need to take that pill.
Hmm.
Stay on top of it. Don't take it. Well, all of a sudden, I run out. Something happened. It was a glitch with Medicare and also with the doctor.
Right.
And guess what? I couldn't get my pills for 2 weeks.
Oh no.
Okay. So what do? I call the doctor. Well, Mr. Garvey, you got to look at it this way. If you go in and have surgery, so you got to stop taking it a week before, okay? And then once you have the surgery, you got to wait another week and probably 2 weeks after that. So you'll be okay with not taking it. But that's not what you tell me. Every time I go there, you tell me I got to take this stuff.
Yeah.
And they
Why are you
didn't give you
taking
any
it all if you don't have to?
Yeah. So it's just a game that they play and stuff like that. And same thing with buying a brisket. Pisses me off.
I hear you. I hear you. Um, oh, looky there.
I don't know.
Is Marie working with Scully?
No,
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 because he's recording this evening. I didn't know why if if he had invited her or not.
no. This is somebody from Colorado, and that I guess seen her channel, whatever, and
Yeah,
reached out and stuff. So what are you doing for tomorrow? What are you doing for Easter?
we're doing nothing except gardening.
Bingo. Grumpus, you got any?
I'm. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, the wife wanted me to go to church with her, but I don't know if I'm going or not.
Right.
She's, I don't know. I've never been to church before. She's been going a couple of months. I
Right.
guess she's got some duties there that I'm not going to go to a new church and just sit there by myself.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
blame you. I wouldn't either.
yeah, I
Um,
get it.
I might go to Walmart and grab some chocolate for the grandbabies.
I mean, I'm going to work. I'm going to work in the yard a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
do some stuff. But I did. I got most of it done today.
Good. Good.
There again, it amazes me how it brought up. I mean, I go to church, you know what I mean? Come home, and then the dinner, the Sunday dinner, and stuff like that. I mean, it was just we're doing nothing. I mean, in fact, I don't even know what we're going to cook tomorrow, if
Right.
I'm going to cook anything.
Ooh.
You know what I
Terry's
mean?
gonna do ham, candied yams, julienne potatoes, and rolls.
We'll be over.
Gosh, la 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 la.
Yeah.
Okay, Charlotte. Charlotte, I've looked up here. I'm also taking Plavix.
Okay, I haven't
Yeah.
had any problems with that. It's a lot for me. It's better than the Berlinta because it's only once a day.
Taking Plavix once a day,
And
and what's the other one? Xarelto.
mm-hmm.
Taking
Oh,
it twice a day.
Oh,
so they got you on a cholesterol medication. You got you on a statin,
Yeah.
yeah,
and so I stopped taking the statins.
I did too. You know why? They made me hurt everywhere.
Causes my blood sugar to rise.
Everywhere. My joints hurt so, and I don't. Well, I probably have some arthritis in my hands, but it that's about it. But man, when I was taking that statin, my knees hurt, my hips hurt, my back hurt, my shoulders, everything. My elbows hurt,
Yeah.
and I finally put two and two together, and I would go without it for like a week or so, and I would start feeling better.
Yeah.
And then I'd take it again, and I'd start feeling worse. And I was experimenting with it. Finally, I said, "Nope, this stuff's going in the garbage.
Yep.
I'm not.
Well,
If
I've
I
been
have
real
to."
fortunate. I haven't had any side effects yet.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad.
They
I mean,
had me on.
the hardest part is just remembering to take them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
I mean,
right, Ron.
I've got my, taking twice a day. I've got my alarm set.
Xarelto is another
I'll
blood
hit
thinner.
snooze until the alarm stops going off. Then I forget to take my medications.
Um, uh, Grumpus,
Ma'am,
next time you talk to your doctor, ask him why you're taking two blood thinners.
Yep. That's the problem. I
well,
was on.
I
I'm
mean,
on
there might be a good reason for it.
I'm on
And
baby aspirin on top of that.
Oh, for the
no,
love of Pete.
God, no, 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 no. Oh, God damn it! But they're still pushing that crap.
Yep.
They're still pushing that. Now, when I lived in North Carolina, Marie watched me coming from the barn, walking across the property, and I
Mhm,
dropped like a rock
mhm.
down. Okay, so they had me on 4 different blood thinners. Okay, and I didn't have a heart attack. 4 different blood thinners. Okay, plus 4 blood pressure pills.
Dear God.
Yeah. And when I went to the hospital, they put me in a hospital. I never forget it. A little black nurse, she came in 3 o'clock in the morning to take my blood pressure. Okay. Next thing you know, she says, "Mr. Garvey, you got to stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up." What the hell's wrong with you? All right. I go to stand up, almost fell over. The first time she took my blood pressure, it was 50. That's all it came up, 50. No other
Oh
numbers came up.
my gosh.
Yeah. So when the doctor came in, she called the doctor. When the doctor came in, he said, "Who put you on these medications?" And I told him who put me on the medications. No. How long you been taking them? I said, "Oh, almost a year."
Mm.
Okay. I couldn't get up from a chair without hanging on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I mean, just the pill pushers and stuff like that.
You know, that
And
happened to me when I have a kind of like a brain tumor, and they diagnosed me with it 25 years ago when I started seeing double.
Hmm.
And that's not what causing me to see double, but it's attached to what's causing me to see double. And they put me on gabapentin, 1,800 milligrams a day.
Whoa.
1,800 milligrams. I was a zombie, and I could not function. I couldn't walk without falling over or trying to fall over.
Hmm.
Um, I was dizzy all the time, and I didn't even know why I was taking the medication. Had no clue
Well,
what it did. Didn't even know what it did. Now, mind you, this is 25 years ago. I've educated myself a lot since then. But after
they told.
well, I kept decreasing the amount of medication because I would tell the doctor, look, I feel worse now than I did before all this crap started. I was fine before all this started. I just couldn't see right, you know?
From taking all of them blood pressure medications, okay,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
they told me with his fingers would stop bleeding, was that some of the medications that I was taking, okay,
Hmm.
caused me to go into a fib.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh, for God's sake.
yeah. So
Hey, Jonesy.
anyway,
Hey Jonesy, happy 420 back at you. I'm not really into that, but happy
Jonesy's
day.
birthday.
Happy day.
Jonesy's birthday.
Oh, it is his birthday?
Yeah,
Happy
Oh, I
birthday,
didn't know
Jonesy.
that. Happy birthday, Jonesy.
you know, look a day over 30. That's a good guy,
Terry said
Jonesy.
he's on so much medication he can't remember them all. I would stop.
Yeah,
Well, I
this
mean, the
is.
doctor told me I'll eventually wean off most of this stuff.
That's good. That's good.
But you got to stay on top of it.
Well, I'll stay on top of it because I don't like taking pills.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
This one that I'm taking, this Eliquist, it's only supposed to be on it 6 months. Okay, and that's from 2016,
Oh my. Oh
and here
my.
it is. And here it is.
Well, and when they started me on the blood thinner too, they said I could take it for about a year. And then when I went back I was going back every 3 months after my heart attack. And when I hit the year mark, I said, well, it's been a year. Can I come off of it now? He said, oh no, you'll take that the rest of your life. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
So,
So they break your chops to take all these different pills, but yet in the same token, turn around and say you can't use this kind of rub on what you're cooking, or you're
right,
smoking too much meat, or you're eating this and eating that.
That's
I
right.
mean,
right. But they'll drug you up in a New York minute.
yeah, yeah. My cardiologist. So we're
Hey, Jane.
in Florida, and I'm just getting ready. Had a glass of wine. Just week prior, I had the heart cath done.
Hmm.
I had a slice of pizza in my hand and a glass of wine in the other hand, and I'm getting ready to dig into it. And who comes walking through the door? The cardiologist. He comes over to me and he puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, "And what are you doing here?" So I got to be quick about it.
Having
And I
dinner.
said, the question is, what are you doing here?
Right. Oh my goodness.
Then he proceeded, "No, it's okay. You can do that now. You're pretty clear and everything like that." Sure, you got paid. I said,
Yeah.
"I'm probably buying your pizza right now that you're going to take home."
Right.
But it's all a game. It's all a money game. That's all it is. But when they start playing with the hearts and stuff like that, and different medications, that they're just doing it because you know what, they get a kickback or whatever. I don't buy that. I'm sorry. I just don't like it whatsoever. And people just turn around and say, "Oh, it's okay. All right, I'm taking this." Here's what really bothers me: you go into the doctor's office and you see people that are older than us sitting there with a Ziploc bag loaded with medications.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you making that person take them pills from their house and bring it in there so you can look at it, or just have
Right.
them carry that stuff in there?
Right.
You know what they're taking. You
Exactly.
prescribed it. You prescribed it to
Exactly.
them.
That's right.
So unbelievable.
Well, I haven't taken any medications in on any visits I've made. But you can look it up. If you look my name up, see if I owe you money. It ain't but one tab over what I'm taking.
Right.
I told one nurse in the front there. She said, "I don't see your appointment here. I don't see when you got your appointment here." I said, "You're kidding me, right?" So now what they do now is I lost my shit with them. I really did. Now what they do is they schedule me and Marie at the same time, same appointment,
That makes the most sense.
because they're tired of hearing me go off on them about it.
Hmm.
I told that one little chubby nurse. We walked down the hallway to get on the scale. I said, "No, you first. Let's see who's who here."
Hey, let me ask y'all something. Have either of you ever tasted a honeyberry?
Never
I've
heard of
heard
it.
of it. I've heard of it, but I never tasted it.
I've heard of it too, and I'm real tempted to buy me one of those trees. Y'all, I have bought trees out the wazoo.
Do you have room for all them trees?
I don't know, but I'm going to make room for all of them. I promise you that. I got a lemon tree,
Okay.
a satsuma, a caracara orange. I got a pear, a nectarine. I got 6 blueberry bushes. I know a apricot. I don't even know if it'll grow here. The advertisement said it would.
Apricot should grow in your area.
I hope so. Well, I got one that was specific down to zone 10, so we'll see. But I'm excited. You
Now,
know,
do you have to have a second pollinator with that?
only for the pear tree.
Okay.
All the rest of them are self-fertile. Well, in the blueberries, they got to have it more than one.
Okay.
But I've got 9 different blueberry bushes. I had 3 to start with, so I have 5. Yeah, 5 varieties. So I should be good. Because well, some bloom at different times too.
Yeah.
So I had to sync up everything. But yeah, I'm tempted to try one of those. I hear that and I have a mulberry tree too. 2 of them. I have no idea how big they get. I think it's about 20 feet.
Yeah, they get pretty big.
Well, it's going to have to get pruned to stay about 12 feet tall. I'm, I
Yeah.
don't want all that shade. I don't want all that shade in my yard,
Yeah, that could be a problem. Yeah.
yeah, because of the garden.
I mean, I don't have anywhere to plant in the back, and I'm not going to put a fruit tree out front.
Well, see,
Somebody else,
that's my
somebody
issue.
else can eat up all my fruit.
Right, that's what I don't want. So I've got a couple of places I can stick fruit trees, actually about 3 different spots. So I figure if I put 3 in this spot, 3 in this spot, and 3 in that spot, I should be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe put them 8 to 12 feet apart, something like that. They should be okay.
And I suppose I could put them in a big pot, but
Well, and
I don't want to
another
deal with all
thing,
that.
my house faces east. So when the sun comes up, all the shadows are behind me.
Okay.
So there's only a couple of spots in the yard. Like I've got this great big oak tree back there over the chicken coop. Well, at 3 o'clock, my garden starts getting shaded in the deep summer. Right
Yeah.
now, it's getting shaded at about 1:30 in the afternoon, but it's also getting sun, all morning.
Yeah.
So it's okay. And that's one good thing about having an east-facing house, I think.
Yeah. My house faces northeast.
Well,
Hmm.
you get sun all day, don't
Pretty,
you? Because
pretty
it
much.
just goes across your backyard, don't it? Or
Pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah. I finally. Well, I mean, I got trees in my neighborhood, and my neighbors have trees.
That shade a little
So I
bit.
get some mornings sun and a little bit of shade,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
from probably I'm guessing probably from 10 o'clock until 3, it's just boiling sun.
Oh gosh, the worst part of the day too.
And I got a two story house next to me that finally gives me just a little bit of shade with a little bit after 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
But that's still what, almost 6 hours
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
So I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the sun requirements and all that kind of stuff. I just plant it and see what it does.
Yeah. And, I do that too. And
I
Yeah.
mean,
if it's
I've,
not happy where I put it, I move it.
my whole life I've heard Boston ferns have to have shade
Ha!
for filtered light, and I've got them in full sun all around my pond
Oh,
everywhere.
wow.
You can't kill the stuff.
Wow. We face the east and get that morning sun over the ocean. Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, yeah. Yeah. Because I'm a block from, not a block, 4 blocks from the beach, 4.5. And that's what it does here. But the thing about here is in the wintertime, the sun is way over here to the south.
Yes.
And it comes up over the water and goes down over the water. By July, the sun is all the way over here, northeast, and it
Right.
goes diagonal across my house.
I've been trying to explain that concept to Vicky the last few weeks because she's buying things and she's saying, "Well, I can plant it over here and I can plant this over there." I said, "Yeah, but that sun is like this, and it's going to come up in
Right.
the summertime, and all that shade you're counting on,
Is not going to
or
be
or
there.
even the full sun you're counting on, is going to change."
Yeah. And now in the spring, I'm good because it's that way and it's not as intense.
Yeah.
But in the summertime, when it comes across this way,
Oh,
it
yeah.
comes like right between me and my neighbor's house.
Yeah.
There's no shade at
Like a
all.
solar flare.
Yeah.
We face. I think we face southeast. We get no sun at our place. So a little bit once it gets up higher over the building comes down, but that's why it doesn't grow. But okay, as far as heat wise
Yeah.
and air condition wise,
Yep.
we're in high cotton
Sound
because I
like you're
mean,
golden.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Grumpus, have you ever did? What's his name here? That Al Weisselberg I was telling you about, the guy who does
Eat more vegans?
Eat More Vegans, but
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
also started a new thing called Behind the Food TV.
Oh.
Okay,
I haven't seen it, but I think you were talking about that one night.
he just did one last week with this guy from Harlem Road, Texas Barbecue. Okay, this local guy that he did. He turned around. This guy turned. He was a classical trained chef. Okay, his dad was big with the Shah of Iran back in the day,
Oh.
and fled the country, came here. So this guy moves to Texas, moves there, and opens up this place. You got to check that video out. Okay?
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's called. I got schooled by the most interesting man in Texas barbecue.
I saw that thumbnail. I haven't clicked it yet, but I have seen that thumbnail.
Check it out. You'll like it a lot because this guy goes off the. He does all kinds of smoking, but he does it a little bit different. Okay, how he trims his brisket and stuff, but he smokes octopus.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I mean, like blew my mind. I mean, it was unbelievable.
I would love to try that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wherever Harlem Road is, but in Houston,
Harlem?
Harlem Road. Yep, Harlem Road. It's out where I guess where Amazon has a facility out that way.
So it's out west towards Katy?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Harlem.
Harlem Road. Very interesting. I think you would like it. I meant to tell you that earlier on there. Pretty cool dude. But anyway, getting back to planting and stuff. That's I think Charlotte think that's why we're having a problem with anything growing, starting anything to grow because we get no sun.
Right. Right. That would make me very, very sad.
Yeah. Well, she's chomping at the bit.
I know she is. Yeah, I would be really sad about that.
She has a lot of aloe. She grows a ton of aloe.
Well, she could probably grow grow a lot of leafy green vegetables with no sun or little sun. But then again, not in. She could do it in the wintertime, not in the summer.
Yeah, we had I finally got rid of our 6 foot jalapeno pepper plant.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I couldn't put it in a house no more.
Right.
So
You could have just cut it in half and let it keep going.
we did. She cut
Oh,
it. She cut it back down again. That joker's back up again.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, mutant.
That's great.
Look here, look here.
Uh
How you doing, Mona?
oh.
Hey,
Mona, how
Mom.
you doing? Unbelievable. Yeah, so we're not doing nothing tomorrow. I mean, like I said, my daughter's working, so we'll do something next Saturday, whatever,
Yeah.
and just roll with it. Holidays are taking a crazy turn anymore, so.
We don't celebrate too many holidays here.
Well, my sister did invite us over for a little get together tonight. And I did. It was kind of late notice for, and she said they
Right.
may do something tomorrow with her grandkids. So
Hmm.
I'm not
frozen,
sure if we're
Grumpus.
going to do that or not.
You're frozen, Grump.
I'm froze.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know
Well,
you're all right
there you
now.
are.
How
You're
about
back.
now?
Yeah,
You're
you're
back.
good.
Um, I guess we do a lot of dinners, like holiday dinners with the whole family, the daughters and us.
Yeah.
And but because Rachel had surgery, we just, we're doing our own thing.
I told
Did not-
Marissa next time we do a big dinner, everybody's like this.
I know, right? It's
Well,
so
my
frustrating.
I said I'll
my
send him a
sister
picture of a
said she was
turkey.
going. My sister said she was going to do Easter eggs and all that kind of stuff for
Ugh.
the grandkids. Now, I mean, one of them's 20. I mean, she does have some little ones, but
Oh
everybody's
my!
always included.
Oh my goodness!
I told Vicky, I said, if you got to drive your own self to an Easter egg hunt, it's time to stay in the car.
Hey, and told to bring the eggs.
Yeah,
They don't like you.
Goodness.
but it's one of them things grandmas don't want to give up.
Yeah,
that's
well,
for
this
sure.
one does. This one does not want to participate. Well, I'm a
That's
terrible
funny.
grandma, y'all. I'm just not that. I'm not that grandma. I mean, I am the one that lets them have, whatever food they want at my house, and I am the one that plays with them. I listen to them and play with them and stuff like that. But I'm not. Well, I
I'm
did
not.
make.
I'm not either. I mean, once they hit 18, they're adults now. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't mind talking to them. Just like my grown kids, I talk to them almost every day.
Well, yeah.
But
It was
go
it
ahead.
was great when they were little. I mean, Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and all that
Right.
stuff like that. And but then there comes a certain time where guess what? You know what I mean? You grew out of that. If you come looking with your hand out, okay, I'll tell you, go wash your hands. You got dirty palms.
Yeah.
I mean, and that kind of stuff. I said, when's the
Mhm.
last time? I told my oldest. I said, when's the last time you bought Pop something? When
Right.
did that happen? Oh, come on, Pop.
Oh, look
Well,
here! I didn't put in my order for Mother's Day.
when I when I
Yes,
first
sir.
when I first started dating Vicky, she did Easter baskets for all her kids, her 3 kids, and the baby was 18.
Oh, Lord have
I
mercy.
said, you know what? I mean, we had some big old fights over that one.
Grumpus, I was 12 years old. Okay, like I said, my dad was a carpenter. Okay, you know what I got? A wooden Easter bunny.
Wooden.
He cut it out on the bandsaw and stained it and
Aw,
and handed it to me. You're
I think
done.
that's
But
nice.
to me, that's kind of ridiculous. Easter baskets for kids that old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
She said, "Well,
yeah,
I've always done it." I said, "Well, it might be time to give that up." They
right.
got their own kids to make baskets for.
especially you start talking $30, $40 a whack.
Oh, is the price of candy now? Jesus, nobody needs to tell me to give up sugar with candy because I can't afford it.
Uh, if I can get here in an hour. Yeah, I mean it's just ridiculous. And there again, right now you go. Went to the Walgreens to get my prescription the other day. True, I'm talking like a true old guy now. Okay, and what do they have up already? Okay,
July
stuff for the
4th.
summer. Stuff,
Oh yeah,
stuff for the summer. Start putting it around from there. And then you see buy one large M&M with peanuts. Get the second one for half price, but the large one is $9.88.
Oh, for the love of
yeah.
Pete.
It's the price of 2 bags. They're going to give you half a bag.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
amazing, simply amazing. So
Well, I don't like M&Ms that good. Did y'all hear about the little girl that went missing in Mississippi last week?
No, I have not.
It was about 20 minutes up the road from me. Little 6-year-old girl went missing. And the parents, or the mother called the police, and they looked for her, and they looked for her, and they looked for her. She went missing at noon. At 6 o'clock, they found her. And I just found out today where they found her. And no foul play, thank God. It was just a terrible, terrible accident. They found her in a 55-gallon barrel. She had been climbing up into it and fell in and couldn't get out, and it was she drowned.
she was
No.
dead.
Yeah.
Hey, God.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Now
I hate
get this. This mother had already lost 2 children. One was disabled from birth and passed from complications of his disability. She just lost a young adult daughter to a car accident. And now she's lost this little girl. Plus, her husband passed away about a year ago.
Yeah, she goes by the name of Lucky.
Yeah, I don't know where she lives. I'm going to stay away from that area.
Ain't that
Yeah.
the truth? It's really, really sad. I mean,
Well, it is.
it broke
I got
my
I,
heart.
I got to tell you a funny story.
Okay.
I go to Smith's the other night. Okay, I had to pick something up. Marie wrote me a note. Okay, on the way home, drop the kid, stop and get the blah blah blah. Okay,
Okay.
so I come speeding into the shopping area. Okay, it's just getting dark. I got a handicap sticker. I right into the handicap place. Now it's on the other side of the shopping center. Now I hear somebody singing. I get out of the car and I hear somebody singing. I said, "Oh, listen to this happy son of a gun." All right. I'm walking up and they have park benches at this store. All right. There's this guy. He's sitting there. I think I might have told you this last week. And he's sitting there and he's got a big bottle of Di Serrano.
Oh
On there right
yes.
now. Okay. And he's happy as hell. So I go stop back again. Okay. He's on the other side. Okay. And he had a knapsack that was on his back, but he had, just another day now, he had it on the park bench with a big hose in his mouth. Just soaking up. I said, damn,
My goodness.
I'm worried about food prices, this and that, and this guy's happy every freaking day.
No, you don't care about steak prices.
He could care less. As long
Oh
as the
my
Di Serrano
goodness.
don't go up. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. I don't know. I guess I'm
Hey,
next.
do you are you aware of Rick's Barbecue and Specialties?
Yeah.
They're having a fundraiser for him at the end of the month,
Oh.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
May 31st, I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try to get over there. It's in San Antonio.
Oh.
Yeah, Rick got hit hard.
Yeah, throat cancer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Oh.
He had a lump. He had a lump on his neck.
He did. He did. Him and Grill Sergeant showed up at the barbecue cook-off
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of evenings. That's the first time I'd seen him out in quite a while.
Yeah, in fact, I seen pictures of both of you sitting there talking. Yeah.
So Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make that.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be
Cool.
nice.
The
Yeah,
sad
I'm
part.
starting to peter out. I think I'm gonna have to go.
Okay, well we've been at this quite a while. We could all go if you wanted.
Don't
Well,
tell me where to go.
well, it was good to see you again, Tom. Thanks for having me up, Grumpus.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Yes, Charlotte.
we'll catch you later, Charlotte.
All right, y'all take care. Good
Okay.
night.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.
Well, tonight we hit a milestone. Anyway.
We did.
Yeah, we got that damn box open.
What do we talk about now?
You got to fill it now. Now you got to put olive oil in it. It's the clear one.
I really like that. Tell Marie I said thank you very much.
Definitely will. Definitely. You did get a stopper with that too, didn't you?
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. If I could just spot for that.
Yeah, we were trying to count the other night of how many bottles. I feel bad for her because she likes doing it. You know what I mean? But she just can't. She just can't keep.
I understand that.
She just can't keep it going, and then she hurts for days and days and days.
I mean, if it hurts her, she shouldn't. I mean, what's the point in doing it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it started out as something fun to do.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause we did the senior avocado. That was for the avocado oil. And then this was a brainstorm I had a while back, right, talking about it. I said it would be very cool because in the restaurant I had all my oils that I used. Okay, avocado, olive oil, and stuff like that. I used regular olive oil and extra virgin olive oil.
Uh huh.
Couple different stuff. So I'd have the bottles up there and I had them all labeled. You know what I mean? And I said to her, I said, boy, it would be cool to have a bottle with olive oil on it. Well, I let it go, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then she comes in one night and she says, there's just a little bit of wine in here. Why don't you finish it? Okay. I'm not going to drink. I have no
Followed
clue.
orders.
Yeah. I have no clue what she was talking, what she was going to do. But lo and behold, the next couple of days she comes in and she had them olive oil bottles. So, and I thought it was cool for the channel to give them out. I was giving to people who were really good supporters of of the channel and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's how I did that.
Well, I appreciate it. I apologize. It took so long to open that box up.
You had
I told Vicky, I said it's kind of a joke got out of hand. She said, "Well, you're the only one laughing." I said, "Well, maybe you're right."
it was pretty cool, pretty cool. Well, I think I'm going to hit the hay because I got a early day tomorrow. I got to take them to work. And then,
Yeah, I still don't know if she's going to wake me up in the morning to go with her or not. I mean, I'm not dying to go, but I did tell her I would.
yeah.
But she's on some kind of team greeting team, or that kind of stuff like that. And she said, "Well, I'd probably be sitting by myself most of the morning." And I said, "Well, I can do that at the house.
Exactly.
And I don't have to put pants on."
Exactly. I tell you, last couple days ago, I moved, and I pulled a muscle in my chest.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you what, you talk about. It felt like I get hit with a ball peen hammer.
Hmm.
It doesn't bother every time, okay, but today it really, really. Now I guess I don't know. I put some like Bengay on it, whatever, like that.
Yeah.
And went away for a little bit, but now I tell you, it's really starting to be a pain in the ass with it.
My chest in the middle is numb. I got no feeling there right now. But over to the left a little bit, there's one spot, and I talked to the doctor about it, and he said, "Well, that's just all those nerve endings trying to reconnect." But boy,
Right.
every once in a while, I hit it just right. I twist just right. Man, it feels like somebody stuck a knife in me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Who's ever out there, if you're younger than us, guess what? You got some wild crap coming at you.
Well, let me just say, don't ignore it like I did.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
And I ignored this for probably 10 years, Tom.
Yeah. I mean,
And it comes
And-
on
and-
so gradual that, you can only hide it so long.
yeah, exactly. And the bottom line is, I mean, how far off course do you go? Who do you listen to? And all this stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And you don't know anything until you have a procedure done, and then you feel better, like you said before.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
really
now
don't
that
know.
I'm feeling better, I'm realizing how bad I felt before because it was so gradual.
Yeah, yeah.
You chalk, I just, just age, just get another birthday, and you're going to have some aches and pains, stuff like that. But
And, and that's the reason why I gave up playing, because if the handwriting was not that I can't play or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's the idea of breaking everything down, bringing it to a place, the whole bit. I said, Marie, I said to her, I says, it's like Kenny Rogers used to sing: "Got no one to hold them, no one to fold them."
Well, you start weighing effort. What's the value in effort?
Yeah,
Do I
yeah.
want to do I want to tie my shoes today, or am I going to find my slip-ons? You know?
Like, like my dad said to me one time. He's helped me. I was in high school or grammar school, and he's carrying the bass drum into the high school for the high school dance I'm getting ready to play.
Uh,
And he said to me, "Oh, for crying out loud, you couldn't play the harmonica?" Too funny, too funny. So, all right, boss. I think we can wrap it up.
yeah, I think I am going to wrap it up because yeah, it's been almost 3 hours, so that's
Unless you want to hang in there, I
plenty
have no
long.
problem. What's your schedule like?
As far as what?
Like during the week to do like an hour for a podcast?
Well, I mean, I work a normal job, so I can do it any time in the evening.
Okay, I might get a hold of you. This is something I'm going to put up on a Friday, and
You
this
want
is
to
for
do it
this.
live, or are we going to record it? And then
We're gonna record it first.
okay, well, that's something we can do in the evening then, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure, anytime. And yeah, and it's just food. That's all it is. And we just talk about food. How we go about things, and what our
That's all about
favorites and stuff
food,
like that.
the people's tired of listening.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, Buzz.
All right, well, whatever you guys decide to do tomorrow, be safe and have fun.
Yep. Everybody, happy Easter.
Give
Jonesy,
Maria a big hug for me.
I definitely will. Jonesy, enjoy your day.
We still got 7 people in here.
Well, we can keep going. I don't
No,
know. It's up to
I
you.
probably need to wrap it up. I've been at it all day.
All right. So I think tomorrow I'm going to a potato hunt.
A potato hunt. Who can afford to hunt eggs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be funny. Go to my sister to a bunch of new potatoes painted.
You can use a sweet potato. You could use.
We're on Social Security now.
Yeah, unbelievable.
All right, Mona. You have a good evening. Jonesy, we'll see you next week. Jane, as always, thanks for keeping an eye on things. Appreciate
Yep.
it.
I'll
I
be.
don't know.
I'll
I'm
be.
sure I'm missing somebody here, but Terry,
That,
see you next week.
that rabbit's head just looked up. Huh? Easter eggs. That look like a potato farmer to you? Unbelievable. All right,
All
boss.
right,
Take
guys.
care.
We'll see you.
Okay.
Just give me a call whenever you're ready.
I will. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Elvis has left the building.